From the Crypt.
Yes, y'all. It's going down right now. Episode 59 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horrors coming at you live. I am your host, Moodz616, and of course, I've always got my two crypt keepers by my side. NES Ruler, also known as Jeremy, and of course, we got the double shot J, also known as JP. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Harry Carey. Do you know JP doesn't know who Harry Carey is?
You know, Moodz, with that intro, you know, the Crypt Keeper, I would be the Vault of Horror guy. You would obviously be the Crypt Keeper being the host. Jeremy is the witch that nobody knows about, so...
The witch, yeah. Yes. Awesome. Jeremy, you're back. And, of course, we're all back, actually. It's been a little bit of a hiatus due to some technical difficulties.
Fuck! Technical difficulties.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, man, this has been a rough go. This has been a really rough go. I've been so fucking frustrated. So just to let the viewers know out there, we've been ready to go every week. It's not like we've been slacking purposely or anything. But I've been having some internet issues and stuff, and we just could not record. And we were, like, literally at this stage, sitting here in front of our mics going... What the fuck?
It's all Canadians' fault.
Yeah.
It is, man. I had some weird technical issues, man. Fucking strange, but it happened.
So what happened was right after the Tales from the Halloween episode, Jeremy was coming back. We was all ready to go for episode 59, Children of the Night. It was going to be. The week right after we posted the Tales from the Halloween episode, we were ready to go. Went to record, and it's a no-go. So then we regrouped, came back the next week. We was going to do the Tales from the Crypt. Season 1, and it was a no-go again. But finally,
fucking Moods, man.
Finally, let's not jinx ourselves. Knock on wood.
Yeah, man. I honestly can't explain what was going down, but
your fucking Canadian internet sucks dick.
Yeah, I guess so. It's so weird how it just happens like that. Like it just starts shit in the bed so bad and all at once. But
just like
whatever.
Everything else in Canada.
Yeah.
Just like somebody named the Blue Jays. Well, I can't say that. The Cubs fucking suck too, so that's all right.
Whatever, man. At least we're going to Game 6. So
yeah. At least we made it. At least you guys made it.
How many games did you make it to, Jeremy?
4.
I do have to say, I am a little surprised that the Cubs didn't win one game.
I'm really surprised, honestly. I honestly thought the Cubs were gonna, I don't want to say easily, but. Obviously I don't know that much about baseball, but I thought they were the favorites to go to the World Series after, going through both Pittsburgh and the Cardinals.
And the fucked up thing is they were 7-0 against the Mets during the season, so that shows you how much jack shit that means.
Yeah, it's like all sports. Yep. Though regular season stats don't really match up at all, when it comes to playoffs, because everything changes. Pitching steps up their games.
They outpitched us. That's the
pressure alone, right? Pressure alone is a huge factor when you're talking playoffs. When you're talking about the most important games of your life, maybe
they killed us, man. It was
not as bad. Was it hard to watch?
Not as bad as 14-2, like Jays, but it was pretty.
Yeah, but that's what happens when R.A. Dickey goes 1.2, and then we have to use our fucking entire bullpen that was already shorthanded. You guys heard what happened in that game, right? So we ran out of pitchers, and we had to throw Pennington in, our backup second baseman, to pitch.
Yeah, that's like first time used to pitch for the White Sox.
But the game was so far gone, and then of course we came back in Game 5, and Estrada pitched basically a gem, and we took that one, so that's good. But yeah, it all comes down to pitching, man. R.A. Dickey just sucked dick that night, and we fucking blew it big time, and it happens. It's all about pitching, man.
Tomorrow could end it all again.
Well, we got Price on the mound, which I don't even know. I'm not confident in Price right now because he's just had a really bad playoff career. He doesn't have one starting win in his career, so hopefully he gets his first tomorrow to push Game 7. Then it's a brand new series.
But like I said, if we get either Greinke or Price, the Cubs are going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
If you get one more pitcher, yeah. I don't know who's gonna come close.
Yeah, if the Cubs would have won the World Series this year, the world would have probably exploded.
Oh, it's such a weird thing. Even the Cubs making the playoffs this year is strange.
They weren't even supposed to. That's why I'm not mad, because it's like, they were not even supposed to come close to our expectations of where they are.
That's the thing, because we know how hard it is to make the playoffs in baseball. There's such limited teams that make it.
Yeah.
And, for the prediction and, Back to the Future Part 2, predicting the Cubs win the World Series in 2015, even the making the playoffs is strange and very cool. It was big news. It was interesting, and it was it was fun to watch and stuff.
So this is like their first year, like all rookies, 4 rookies, and the fucking rookies are killing it. It's like, I'm excited. This team, I'm really excited.
Just another reason that Back to the Future 2 is fucking awesome.
It's the best film in the franchise, in my opinion.
I watched it. I watched it yesterday. I watched it yesterday on Back to the Future Day, and it was fucking weird, man.
Yeah, I truly love those films.
Yeah.
I just like the jokes how people are saying, like, here's a caption of Michael and Doc Brown, or with Marty and Doc Brown. It's like, this is the look that you get when you realize that on Thursday this is a movie about the past.
What the fuck?
I love like
that's a fucking good caption, man. I was like, oh, that's so funny.
During one of the scenes where fucking Marty and Doc and fucking what's his girlfriend's name? Jennifer are in the alley, and Jennifer's asleep. There's like laser discs in the background next to the dumpster. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
You know what's funny? I was watching it with my boy, and he looks over and he goes, what are those stacked up in the alley? And I was like, those are laser discs.
Yep.
I was like, that's so trippy.
It's fucking awesome. I didn't notice that until like recently when somebody posted on one of the pages. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
That's honestly the brilliance of those movies, though. Like, I mean,
to this day, you still notice new shit. It's fucking
exactly,
amazing.
Man. It's just so cool how they do it. Like, they always put there's so many different things that are placed in those movies that are just, there's never a focus on them, but if you look around in the film, you'll notice certain things. That's why it's the coolest trilogy, man. It's so fucking well written. But yeah, well, that was probably the longest non-horror conversation we've ever had on the show.
Nah.
That was interesting.
JP's still a fucker for not knowing who Harry Carey is. So
what has been going on the last 3 weeks? I know we've had our ups and downs with internet problems. I know JP's been having a rough go. Jeremy, you're always
busy.
Yeah, man, it's just been, of course my life is just completely flipped upside down right now. I'm busy as hell, but yeah, man.
It's a good busy though, Moodz.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't really been doing, much in other stuff, just doing the kid thing. Yeah, that's what life is, man. So it's been exciting in that way, but tiring as shit, man. Tiring as shit. I will say that this job is way harder than going to work every day. Hands down.
Imagine how all those single mothers out there feel.
Yeah, it's like a different type of tiredness. It's like mentally exhausting, It's not physically, it's just mentally. I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, at least he goes to school on Monday.
Yeah. But then you still got the whole afternoon to deal with, and
fucking send him with some snack packs, and he'll be the coolest kid in town. If Canada has snack packs,
and if all else fell, just tell him pee his pants.
And Donkey Kong rules.
Yeah,
fucking combat.
Yeah, but on another note, bringing it back to horror, I gotta say, guys, I'm continuing along with this 31 Days of Horror that I'm doing. I know you were doing it as well, Moodz, but I'm doing something interesting with the Universal Monsters films, and this is all first-time watches for me, for the most part. I've seen 2 or 3 of them. And I gotta say, man, I'm starting to get a little bit of fatigue, man. I had to spice it up tonight and watch something a little bit different. I watched a film that I'll talk about later, but I don't know if it's just the low level of violence that are in these older films, but
oh, wow.
I'm getting a little burnt out on them, and
yeah,
I do like them. I love, some of them are so fun.
Man, having violence withdrawals, that's crazy. Gore and blood withdrawals, because there isn't really a lot of that in these Universal films. So that's an interesting note, JP. I have to say, I'm gonna mark that down.
I think that these films are definitely not made to watch marathon style, because essentially, especially the Mummy films, they're the same thing over and over again. Like, people say, like, Friday the 13th is the same exact story over and over again. Yeah, it is, but the Mummy is, like, the fucking same. It's the same thing over and over again.
I think that's what separates, like, the Mummy, the Mummy franchise, and then you look at the Frankenstein one. There's actually quite a bit of different stories going on there, certain things that are happening, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so, but it still is very similar, though. And one thing that I'll say about these Universal films is, I do like that they're so goddamn short that you really could watch a bunch of them in a row, but they all end. They have, like, the pacing was so different back then. Like, the climax and the ending just wraps up, like, immediately. Like, there's 5 minutes left, and I'm like, how the hell are they going to wrap up this whole movie? But I don't really think it's about, like, the money. I just think it was, the pacing was different. Like, you have these long build-ups, and then just like that, it's over. Like, they wrap it up in sometimes literally 5 minutes. And you feel like you're in the beginning of the third act in most cases, but then you look at the time and you're like, how the fuck are they going to end this movie in 5 minutes? 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Like, how are they going to end it? And then usually like the castle falls over or something. And it's just like
the Frankenstein.
And that's the thing about those Universal films too, is like when it ends. It goes back to the menu. There's like no credits or nothing.
Yeah. They end very abruptly. And I will say the last two that I watched, which was House of Frankenstein and one of the Mummy films, they all sound the same. Mummy's Curse, Mummy's Tomb, Mummy's Hand. They both ended very well. I think they have two of the better endings in the whole series that I've watched. I got about 10 or 8 left. I got 8 films left.
I love fucking Bela Lugosi in those Frankenstein movies. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Son of Frankenstein is really good. My favorite so far is The Invisible Man. I think that's hands down the best film in there. I mean, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. It is so good, but I really like Son of Frankenstein too.
Yeah, Son of Frankenstein's a good one. Really good film. I mean, at least you're doing something interesting with the 31 Days of Horror. I mean, realistically, what I'm doing is I just renamed my random horror reviews 31 Days of Horror. There's no theme. There's nothing. Basically, all I did was
every day, though. Now
the first 16 days, I did all newer films, like all brand new horror, like relatively new horror films. And then from the second half, I was just doing old films. I'm, going right back to like the 40s and 50s and stuff. So I guess
good way to unload some of those press copies, though, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had to watch them anyways, and it was interesting because I kind of wanted to watch films for this 31 Days that I'd never seen before. I didn't want to really review things I'd done before or seen before and stuff because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, I'm probably not the only person. I know you guys too have huge unwatched piles of films, so this is a great way to knock off everything. 31. So,
Jeremy's unwatched pile rivals that of the entire world's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
When you buy movies for $1, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's only $1. I fucking waste more gas driving back here.
But, Moodz, at least you're killing two birds with one stone, though, because a lot of those films, yes, they are newer, but what do we do every year around January?
Year-end show.
Yep, year-end show. Top 10 of 2000, whatever the year is. So you're actually doing what I actually should be doing right now. And that's watching films for that show because it's, once again, quickly approaching. And I only have about 25 films that I've seen this year.
I really hope that, Canada doesn't screw me again and I get to see some of the films that, some of the bigger notable films, before the end of the year. Because like last year, I never got to see a few like The Babadook and, films like that, were out last year with big releases and stuff like A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Like I know you guys all VOD that and stuff. I never got a chance to see those. Same with Starry Eyes. I never got a chance to see these films until this year. So they're all like 2015 films to me because they had media releases in 2015. And I hope that doesn't happen to me again with some of these really highly notable because it sucks because now those type of films are kind of in limbo is what I call it.
Yeah.
And what limbo is that I made my top 10 list from 2014, 2015 comes around, and they're not really eligible for this list. Therefore, they never made it onto a top 10 list, which they probably would have.
Yeah, that's the same goes for The Battery, though, right? The Battery was in limbo for us, and it sucked because that would have been my number one last year.
Exactly. Great example. The Battery happened to both of us, and I just don't want that to happen again, with like, say The Green Inferno or I don't know, man. Like I never had a chance to see it because where I live, it never got in the theaters around where I am. So I haven't seen it yet. And I don't know if it's going to come up for the end of the year, if I'll even have a chance to see it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that movie's going to make my top 10 or not. I don't know, but, I just don't want this to happen again. There's too many notable films from last year. So I'm really trying to knock off everything, right now, but I do have one front runner right now. And I got a few others that are, probably going to make in the top 10. But, yeah, I mean, there's still lots of films to see, so.
Mine's wide open.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I wish that came out this year, but it doesn't.
I'm actually up to, I have a list of 86 here, but I think I've watched 84 of them now. So I've watched about 84 2015 releases, so that's not bad.
Jeremy, how many do you think you watched?
Probably as much as you.
25 or so?
Yeah. And some of the good ones aren't considered horror, but
yeah,
like The Treatment.
Yeah, we'll
yeah, that's a tough one.
Talk through some of those.
Well, man, I tell you, man, this year has been interesting because I know for you guys, as far as I know, you don't have like a bona fide, number one front runner right now. And, there's been a lot of pretty good films, nothing overly too outstanding except for one for me. But I've watched a lot of shitty films this year, man. I have to say, like ones that I just would not recommend. I mean, probably one of the worst films I've watched recently is Gravy. That movie's fucking terrible.
It's so funny because I've seen so many mixed reviews on that. I just seen another person give it a 7.5 today.
Oh my God, it is so bad. It's fucking, okay, just put it this way. I mean, I'm one of those people that when I find something funny or mildly funny, I laugh out loud. I don't care. I just show my emotion. I don't give a fuck. I laugh at everything. This movie right here, I didn't even smile once. It's supposed to be a fucking comedy. I'm like, this is fucking retarded. Yeah. I'm sorry for using the R word, but this is like, I mean, honestly, if you're making a horror comedy, is it not supposed to be funny?
Well, I don't know, man, because I say the same thing about stuff like Mutantis.
Are you bringing back up Mutantis, man?
Well, the difference between Mutantis and Gravy is that Mutantis is intended to be like stupid and ridiculous and stuff. Gravy actually has decent production value and it has good actors in it, and it's a decent film. I'll give it that. But it's not funny. That's the fucking problem.
Well, will I like it?
It's a total miss. I think you'll hate it. You'll hate it. Even Dylan, he's very similar to me. He's the one who dropped the movie off in my house to watch it, actually, because I hadn't received my copy yet, and he's like, you got to review this shit. So I watched. He's like, it sucks, doesn't it? I'm like, fuck yeah. So, and we're very similar. Like, we have a good time. We laugh all the time. And he's like, I didn't laugh at all. I'm like, really? Crazy. I have to see this. So, yeah. I don't know, man. It seems like the word on the street is for 2015. It seems to be this is the year.
Kid.
I really want to see Turbo Kid. Man, I saw the trailer accidentally for that, and I was like, holy shit, that looks good. But no, it seems like this year seems to be like the resurgence of like the horror comedy. Mm-hmm. You guys have any thoughts on that? Because I keep seeing, like Brandon from the Facebook page and other people are just being like, yeah, this is like the year of the horror comedy. It seems like it's 1987 again.
I don't know, fucking Bloody Knuckles, man. That movie is.
There's just so many. It seems like so many notable horror comedies out there this year. It seems like every second film that's getting highly rated and good ratings and stuff is like a horror comedy. And I'm like, I don't mind a horror comedy once in a while. I like my stupid films, but to be honest, when every fucking week the best film of the week is a horror comedy, I'm just asking myself, where the hell's the horror?
Uh-huh.
And I was pleasantly surprised with We Are Still Here, like, because I'd watched a bunch of shit films and I watched a horror comedy and I was like, oh my God, where the fuck is the horror? And then I watched this love letter to Lucio Fulci and I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun, good film. Like, it was just enjoyable to watch. And I was just like, finally, there's a good film.
That movie's grown on me a little bit.
Yeah, man. I thought it was really, really good. And not to take anything away from the horror comedies that have been coming out this year. Like, don't, take this the wrong way or anything, but enough is enough. I'm getting kind of burnt out.
Just watch Bloody Knuckles.
The year's not even over. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're saying it's that good, I mean, it's next on deck here for me, but I mean, give me some damn horror.
Let me tell you something, Moodz. I'm looking at my obviously unshaped top 10, meaning it got a long way to go still. And right now, just based on ratings alone, 5 out of the 10 are debatable horror comedies.
Really?
And that upsets me very bad. That's really upsets me.
Yeah, that's incredible for you, man. That really is.
Well, it's purely looking at the list. It's mainly because of the fact that it is mainly horror comedies in this list of the films that I've seen. So therefore, by default, the ones that are rated the highest are probably going to be also a fair share of horror comedies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did see one really good one this year, and I will recommend it to everybody. It's Suburban Gothic. It's really well written, and I've recommended this film to so many people, and everyone's come back saying the same thing. It's just like, it's comedic timing at its best. It's got really good. It's got a good script, but the timing and the acting and stuff is just perfect. It's one of those type of films, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really good. I recommend Suburban Gothic. So for horror comedies, but on a side note relating to the horror, return of the slasher films this year. Yes. A lot of good slasher films this year, I have to say. Girl House, Charlie's Farm, Headless, some really good ones. Lost After Dark was really good. So, yeah, I'm always looking out for those slasher films. What's that?
Not Cub, though.
Yeah.
It was all right.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not fucking Paranormal Island or anything, but the solid 1.5 out of 10. All right, so yeah. Alrighty. Well, I don't know if you guys have any more.
That's about a half-hour intro. I say we go to news.
Yeah, man. I say we get into the news too. Do we got a bunch this week?
Yeah, but bunch is in a couple weeks worth. Did I cut down to less than that? So I mean, yeah. So the first thing, let's get them both out of the way. One with just in one swoop. Friday the 13th was slated for 2016. It has now been pushed back to 2017.
Boo!
Yeah, apparently
that was terrible news.
Paramount is going to go in a different direction. They had the Hannibal writer, who was, going to write, and David Bruckner was going to direct. And I guess what they're saying is they're just looking for something else, and they're going to go into a different direction in terms of writers. So, yeah, that pushes it back. So apparently they didn't like the script. At least that's what it sounds like.
I'm starting to think that they're overthinking this.
They are.
And I think
I was going to say that.
They need to go back to the basics here and go, hey, guys.
It's Jason.
And then they're going to answer, and then they're going to be like, yes, it's a Friday the 13th film. They write these movies in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
What is taking? This is taking like years to, like, come on, man. This is fucking stupid.
2017.
Like,
yeah,
I'm ridiculous.
Man. That's crazy.
Honestly, guys, I'm done reporting on it until we have like concrete fucking photos from the set or something, because it honestly pissed me off. Because you guys know me, man. I fucking love that franchise. I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 2017. At least in 2016, I was like, I think I can make it. But 2017, that's so fucking far away. Who knows if I'm going to be alive?
They're not even beating around with this either. They're just like, no, it definitely isn't coming out in 2016. We're going to say 17.
But it's January, so we have hope. It's almost 16.
Holy shit. Like, that's pretty fucked, I have to say, man.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, in the same week, we have Malika Akkad, who is one of the producers of the Halloween franchise, in an interview with DailyDead.com, said that the Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton team that was going to be doing the thing, apparently the direction that the studio wanted to go is different from the direction that trio wanted to go, and now they're just pumping the brakes and they're figuring out, I believe he said, this beast. And yeah, so that is now on hold for a little bit again while they're doing some different script stuff. So I guess that original synopsis they came out with probably isn't what's going to happen now, and they're completely reworking the whole thing. So what the fuck, dude? Halloween, I guess you need to think about that one a little bit more, but I swear to God, man, like I feel like they're just their heads are in the wrong direction. They're trying to reinvent the wheel here, and it doesn't need reinvented.
Yeah, I agree. And I made a joke the other day. I said, Sam Raimi's going to put out a new Evil Dead sequel before any of these see the light of day. So that's how bad this is going. Because we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I believe Rich Style from The Devil's Eyes actually, when both of these films were both announced, he was like, I bet we don't, because I believe they were announced for 15 originally. And he's like, I bet we don't see these until late 2016 or further or something like that. So, I mean, he called it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. By this point, we'll fucking see 2 more Chainsaws and a Hellraiser by the time those 2 fucking films come out.
2 more Chainsaws, really?
Well, let's just look at it right now, all right? So, Friday the 13th, Part 2,
Chainsaw Massacre,
to the original remake.
We'll see another Chucky sequel. We'll see a couple more Saw films.
Yeah.
I hope we see another Saw film. That'd be fucking awesome.
I mean, we've already seen this next Chainsaw will be the second one since a Friday the 13th, I believe. So, I mean, I'm at least we have Chainsaw to look forward to, because I'm interested in that. But anyway, moving on, South of Hell. This is a scripted series that is going to premiere November 27th. And what is very interesting about this, I thought that the model that they're using is worth discussion. And it is going to air on WeTV, which I'm not really sure what that is, but I think I've heard of it. all episodes of the series are going to premiere back to back. And that's 7 hours worth of TV, and it's all going to premiere on one day and then later be available on VOD, download on TV platforms.
Really? Binge watch it.
Really? Well, I mean, technically that is kind of binge watching.
Well, they're taking binge watching to like the extreme, where it's like they're rolling with the idea of the phenomena that is binge watching.
Well, that's the thing. I think they're catching the word that, people wait until these seasons come out on DVD or whatever, Blu-ray. They buy them and they binge watch them. So this is like setting the bar to a different level. This is awesome. This is good shit. Yeah. Why didn't anyone else think of this before? Honestly, this seems like such a simple premise that has never been done. And then you're like, dude, my socks literally blew off my feet when you said that. I was like, holy fuck.
Netflix kind of did it, right? Yeah. That when they do their series, they release all the episodes at once. But that's more of an on-demand thing, right? It's not a streaming, like a TV.
Yeah, that's a little different. But I guess I've never actually watched one of those Netflix originals or whatever before. Like, none of them, actually. But still, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, so something also interesting about this TV series is that it is Eli Roth produced, and I believe he's directing the pilot, as well as Ty West is directing an episode, of course, from House of the Devil and the Sacrament. And the girl...
And a Western with John Travolta.
And the girl who did Tank Girl is also directing an episode, and Jennifer Lynch.
I love Tank Girl. That movie's so weird.
So that's something, right? That's an interesting experimental idea. I'd be interested to see how it plays out. And if it goes over well, it's something that we could definitely probably see in the future with other networks maybe attempting that, trying that. The only thing that I think the problem is you don't have that advertisement boom where, Mondays at 9, you're going to get those big numbers. It's just going to be a one-shot thing.
I wouldn't have big numbers on Wii TV anyway, so... Just like what you have a little Wii, so just like the viewership, it's going to be like you.
Oh, dude. It gets worse. It gets worse. I made a joke earlier that Jeremy is like the worst at like making fun of, cracking jokes, like poking fun at
because I'm totally the one who comes up with all the great jokes that have been on the show.
You fall into them, dude. You fall into them.
Yeah. It's not my fault the Shankle ankle exists.
But after that, we have something. This is another one of those fucking things. Well, this one actually kind of pisses me off, but it's another thing that I simply grabbed because of this interesting model around it. So the Saw box set thing came out a while ago. That Blu-ray set, the cheap little set that came out with all the Saw films. Well,
it's very reminiscent of the Nightmare on Elm Street one without a slipcover.
Yeah.
No, it has a slipcover.
The Saw one does?
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen it with a slipcover, yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know it had one. Fuck, I don't have one.
Okay, so...
Well, I guess I'm just going to throw mine out then. It's useless now.
Oh, I guess somebody stole them all at Walmart.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh, the good memories.
So the Saw doc, right? There's a Saw documentary. But it did not come on that disc, on that box set. It's not going to come on a future box set that is planned right now. The Saw series is going to be released on iTunes via digital release as a unrated and complete Saw collection. And in that release includes a brand new 3-part, 77-minute retrospect called Game Changer: The Legacy of Saw.
77
3-part, 77-minute? Oh, yeah, because this documentary sounds really good. It can't hold your attention for more than fucking 24 minutes at a time. What?
It could be weird wording. I'm not really sure, but...
I'm sorry, but... Okay, I see where you're getting at with this, and in, like, digital-only release, you know what? Go fuck yourself with that.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I think what I'm trying to say is, like, apparently it's not just like some little bonus thing on there, right? It's like a legit like look at the Saw films with, James Wan and Eli Roth and Tobin Bell and all the people talking about the films.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a legit like
documentary.
And
no, totally. But I understand that. But I mean, I would like to see the physical of this.
Well, that's why I specifically brought it up, because
I know this is a very sad moment. This is a very sad moment that they're re-releasing this box set digitally, which is fine because it's already on physical media. But the only way to get this documentary, this 3-part, 77-minute, that wore me out even saying that right there, documentary is digitally only on iTunes. Man, dude, that is fucking so weak, man. That's so weak.
Yeah, but it's weak from our perspective, right?
For the collectors, man.
So let's try to remove us
floppy donkey dicks.
From it
about the
and
money.
just talk about the idea, right? Is this something that's is this another
scary
nudge in that direction of this digital media taking over?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, doesn't it scare you a little bit though?
It's never going to go away.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to fully go away, but I mean, it might get harder and harder to get, and things might even get more limited because they're not selling. And I don't know, man.
That's the case. I still see people in fucking Family Video like crazy, so I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it's not going to disappear anytime soon.
You're buying movies for pennies.
Yeah, but I mean, even renting.
Yeah,
I see them renting a lot at Family Video. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but
that's fucked up. It's crazy.
I will say that if you are going to make that push to make digital, because right now I think that digital has its place, but it's mostly for people who are not hardcore into movies or something. Heard about the next Human Centipede or something.
There is obviously really good points to having digital movies and stuff. It's honestly, when I'm when I'm on the road for work or whatever, even having like a Netflix, which is, technically all digital and stuff, having those things or those full moon streaming and stuff, those are nice to have. Yeah. Because you're sitting in your hotel room, you just click on it and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch fucking this.
Or you could be Jeremy with the stomach flu, sick in bed, and have nothing to do but watch Netflix.
Exactly.
Yeah, I watch Netflix at work sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I can throw Netflix and watch a couple episodes of Gotham at work on my phone. I can't bring in a DVD player and hook it up to a TV or even a portable one because it's too conspicuous. So,
well, yeah, because you're at work. You're not supposed to be watching things.
Yeah, but what I was saying was, if the studios really wanted to eliminate the physical because the physical is more money than what it's worth. I mean, it's all profit with digital, right? There's very few like actual costs.
It's different rights, though. There's digital
rights. It is different rights, but that's only when licensing, right? But when you own the film, when you're Lionsgate and you made the film and you own the film, the whole film, you produce
rights
the film,
for everything, man.
Then you own the digital rights already. It's only when you license there's physical and digital rights. But if you are the studio and you want to start nudging it away from the physical side of things and you are more focused on digital, that is the incentive. That is how you do it. You make these limited things, and you have to make them good. First of all, they can't be 3-part 77-minute retrospects. You have to make them good. Like,
that wore you out saying that, didn't it?
Yeah. But let me ask you this: what if the Green Inferno came out, right? And it got its DVD release and it got its Blu-ray release, but the unrated director's cut was digital only. That would fuck everybody. That would fuck every collector. They would be so mad. It would be the bad thing to do, and I don't think someone like Eli Roth would do it. But
they don't fuck the horror fans.
That is how you eliminate DVD and Blu-ray slowly. That's how you pick
who buys them? Horror fans.
Yeah.
Who else buys DVDs and Blu-rays besides horror fans?
Fucking 40-year-old moms who want to see the new Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. So if you fucking piss off the horror fans, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they know better.
It's the same thing with Blu-ray, though, right? Like, Blu-ray, we've had this argument so many times. DVD is just as popular as Blu-ray, if not more popular.
Yeah.
But how you get rid of Blu-ray, how you get rid of DVD, is you don't put anything on there. Bare bone DVD, put all the special features on the Blu-ray, put all the unrated versions, put all the commentaries and director's cuts on Blu-ray. You only get the theatrical cut, bare bones on DVD. That's how you eliminate DVD.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, man. DVD's managed to survive almost 20 years now. It's a pretty...
Has it?
Yeah, 1997.
97 is when it first premiered, and yeah, it's pushing 20 years. It's like one of the longest lasting, medias out there. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Fuck.
That's one of the reasons Mosquito was so far out of print, because it was one of the early fucking DVD releases.
I love that you wanted that movie so bad, and you waited for it forever, and then it's on Bull Moose for $11 after it's getting a re-release. Yeah. It makes me laugh so hard.
I knew that was
It was my number one, right? I've always had this hit list where I'm like, what films do I want to see that are either out of print or have never been released on Blu-ray or DVD? I know yours was Ghost Town, Jeremy.
Yep.
Mine was Mosquito, and I had a few happen, like Halloween 6 and Body Bags. Like, it is awesome that list is slowly being knocked away. Of course, that list always gets replaced with more titles, but it's been a great few years for releases, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking rights, man. So much good stuff coming out that hadn't had releases before or re-releases. Big ups to these companies like Synapse and all these guys just put in the work, man.
Yeah.
Now they just got to release all the other shit that they've announced, fuckers. I noticed that people are getting impatient right now with Synapse films because, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. It's like you're waiting forever for these, Argento films to come to Blu-ray, but you don't want to rush them because you don't want shit, releases. And they put 110% into all the releases, and I respect that, but they are taking a long time. And I've noticed that people are going out and buying the Arrow releases right now because they're so fed up and they just want to watch Phenomena and Tenebrae and stuff like that, and or even grabbing that other Suspiria, like the Korean one, and on Blu-ray. And I've been noticing people grabbing these things, and I'm like, the funny thing is there is no release dates for like those films or Popcorn or all these other ones that they've announced, and they've announced and released like more Tursus or whatever the fuck I reviewed a couple weeks ago.
They announced Mosquito like 3 months ago.
Exactly, and so these ones are coming out real quick.
But because it's the movies people want, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this, Moodz. Do you think that they might plan to release those Argentos in a box set, and they're just wanting to get them all done first?
I don't know. That's a good question. Honestly, Synapse isn't really known for putting out box sets. They had a couple like Asian box set, DVD box sets and stuff, but they don't really do that. So it's an interesting thought, but the way I see it, I doubt it because I think that, if they were planning on releasing them in a box set, if they have two of them eventually done and the other one's taking forever, it's just going to prolong it even longer. So I think they really need to start putting out them solo soon because I think people are getting impatient. Like I said, I noticed people picking up the Arrows and stuff, and there is other alternatives, right? So kind of the downfall, but and I'm also one of them too. I've been kind of looking at those, and you can get those Arrow Blu-rays for super cheap, man. And I'm like, fuck, but I love Synapse films. I'm going to wait for them. So it is what it is.
Speaking of releases, let's move on to some of those, and we'll go through these ones relatively quickly. The X-Files complete series hitting DVD or Blu-ray, excuse me. No DVD around here. They're already on DVD. They're hitting Blu-ray December 8th.
Stop fucking up, JP.
It's all that DVD talk, man. Almost 20 years going strong, man. There's DVDs going fucking nowhere.
Fucking asshole.
Yes,
it is. It's the first fucking asshole of the night. Plenty more where that comes from.
Good times.
I may fuck up, but I think I saved myself pretty nicely.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it's good. But
you knew who Harry Carey was, maybe you wouldn't fuck up so much.
Well, he would probably be able to teach me a thing or two. Ooh.
Uh-huh.
So, season 1 through 9, Blu-ray. It's in a night. Like, the set looks awesome. If I was an X-Files fan, I would really, really think about grabbing that. It looks nice, but of course it's gonna be like $1 million because anytime you have an entire series hitting Blu-ray, it's always so expensive when it first comes out.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks cool.
I still want to get that Sopranos set, man. It's still a lot of money though.
Yeah, of course it's probably coinciding with the new season. I don't know when that airs, but it's probably around the time that this set comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we have something everybody's been waiting for. Full Moon is finally taking orders for Puppet Master 4, hitting Blu-ray October 12th.
Wow, yeah.
That already happened. So if you pre-ordered your copy of Puppet Master, you should get it next month.
Or, according to Charlie Band, they send it by carrier pigeon, so it should be there by February of 2017.
Yeah, that was the joke, Jeremy. I said it was 2 weeks ago, and
I don't fucking get this, man.
Never mind.
So why is Charlie Band releasing Puppet Master 4?
What do you mean your joke's better? You just stole my joke and extended the length.
Well, I guess people will be seeing Puppet Master 4 before Friday the 13th, so...
Puppet Master 4? What the fuck, man? Okay, seriously.
Moodz is just confused that it's...
No, I'm fed up with Full Moon, man. They fucking piss me off. Okay, get this.
They already released Puppet Master 1, 2, and 3, though.
Yeah, when they put out the Puppet Master box set...
And they look fucking awesome.
1, 2, 3... It fucking says Volume 1. So now they're releasing Part 4 just solo, and then he's going to release 5 2 years down the road, and then 6, and then put out the box set, and then call it Volume 2? Is that what he's going to do? Is he just trying to prolong the inevitable?
Because fucking Charlie Band, though.
Through Charlie Band right now. Motherfucker. Seriously.
Motherfuckers.
Listen, dude. Puppet Master 4 and 5, I don't know.
Just get them out.
I don't know what people like about 4 and 5. I really don't. People are high on those two sequels, and I don't like them. I don't like the idea of the puppets being like the good guys. It actually quite annoys me. And
yeah, that always confuses
me. I'm not
a
fan of them. Too. Not a fan.
I haven't watched them in a long time, man.
Retrospect.
Puppet Master show.
Retrospect. Anytime we mention a franchise, like, yeah, I haven't watched this in a while. It's like, retrospect, time to do them.
I gotta do Witchcraft first.
No. Fuck, Witchcraft is like impossible to do, man. I think honestly, man, we should do the Howling. It's gonna happen.
Listen, our final 3 episodes ever are gonna be Witchcraft trilogy or 3-parter, because there's no way we're doing it all in one episode.
Oh my god! By the time we get to the Witchcraft, there's gonna be 49 movies.
Yeah,
because David Sterling puts out he films 3 movies in one day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man. What did he film? He filmed 3 in 1 week, didn't he?
2 weeks.
It was 2. Oh my god, my bad. Fuck. This guy's a master. He's a pro star.
It's like double the
time.
Cool
Duder could do anything,
man. It's kind of a big deal.
That's fucking incredible, man. Like 3 movies in 2 weeks is
you just
really...
get Cool Duder, and what movie 1? You say, make a Witchcraft movie.
Now, when you say movies, you are using quotation, like finger quotations, right?
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I think it would be really funny. The conversation would be funny because we know like a lot of the later sequels of Witchcraft films are like borderline porno.
Yeah.
And these ones are probably obviously not, considering he was in the films. So
they probably are, because every set photo is like super hot girls.
Well, I mean, those 2 did lose a lot of weight, man. Maybe they're getting the punani now.
I don't know, with that fucking
they're not.
curls.
Yeah, they're not the ones.
Look at fucking Cool Duder's hair, man. It's fucking. He looks like a freaking. I don't even know. I don't want to offend anybody who likes him, so I'm just gonna shut up. But I am known
to. When you're offending.
But getting back to franchises, Howling.
He looks like a fucking garbage pail.
Yeah, Howling will probably be one of our next ones.
Because I've been dying to rewatch some of the later sequels and stuff. So.
Howling 2. How the fuck do you review that?
Howling 2 is such... Oh my god, the end of that movie is so funny.
I know.
You know one good thing about Howling 2? It has a great soundtrack. The soundtrack's fucking awesome.
Because it's original.
Yeah, it's all fucking like good 80s synth. And it's fucking good, man. It kind of keeps you interested when you watch the film. So, and it doesn't help that Sybil Danny's tits are fucking amazing.
At the end.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Howling 2, but do you know who put out the Howling 2 on Blu-ray?
Scream Factory.
And you know what else Scream Factory is putting out? Cherry Falls. From the year 2000, it's a slasher flick.
Ooh, good transition.
They announced Cherry Falls, but
Proud of you.
They did go on to say that Cherry Falls is a film that people have been asking for a while, and they obviously know that people are going to ask them, will it be uncut? They are fully aware that the film suffered trims from the MPAA prior to its release. So when they acquired the film, they hoped to find the additional footage and include it, either in deleted scenes or reinstated into the film. Unfortunately, our licensor, Universal, only has the theatrical R-rated version in their vault. They reached out to the director, and he said that he was never able to make his own cut of the film, and yeah, so they're hoping that the footage might be out there, but as of right now, it will be the theatrical cut.
Yeah, you know what got cut?
No?
Brittany Murphy's boobs.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I was totally joking.
Yeah, but...
Nah, I don't think that she showed her boobs, but... Nah, man, that sucks, man. When shit like that happens,
Yeah,
I know.
They try. Like if they try, it's excusable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, it makes sense. And you know, the thing is, man, it's actually a pretty good film.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw it when it came out, but I barely remember it. It was like that post Scream era, which the more
there was a lot
I
of
distance myself from that era, though, the more I'm kind of appreciating it. Especially Moodz. We announced that we're doing 2002. That's our next top 10 show. And, looking at some of those films, like, I was really like, man, this is going to be cool to go back and visit some of these and even discover some of these post-Scream films. Because 2002 was still, like, post-Scream era. I think 2003 is where we got into the Hostels and Saw era.
Mm-hmm.
French Extreme era, you mean?
2002 is going to be... It's interesting, man. I've been kind of compiling a list of...
Yeah, I started ordering films already. I got like
the
5.
Ones
They're super cheap, dude. Super cheap.
Man, fucking lots of film. There's some bona fide top teners on there, though. I think that all three of us should have on our list. I mean, I don't know, but I think it's going to be a fun
some movie that has a number in its title.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complete change from 1968. Like, considering the amount of films that we have to go through too. So that's kind of the cool thing about these top 10s. If you go into, 1995, it's a tough top 10 year.
Yeah.
I can't wait for one of those random years to pop up. Like in the 70s, I think it's going to be really cool, but this is an interesting one because there's an abundance of films. So many. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like as many as today. Jesus, man.
Moodz, there was a really good werewolf film that came in 2002. Do you know what that was?
Ginger Snap?
Dog Soldiers?
Yeah, Dog Soldiers. Do you know who put out Dog Soldiers?
God, I sound like a fucking idiot right now, I bet.
Dog Soldiers, like originally?
On Blu-ray recently. It got delayed a bunch of times.
Scream Factory.
Yeah, and you know what else Scream Factory's putting out? Sonny Boy. It's a 1989 horror film, retro call. The cover looks all cool and stuff. It looks really out there. And... it has Brad Dourif in it, of course, from Child's Play, which is Jeremy's favorite film, and David Carradine. What? This looks like a weirdo film. It looks fun, man. Did you read about this one?
I actually did not. I did not.
Yeah, well, it's posted on your own website, so maybe you should actually read stuff once in a while.
No, I'd look. I just did not read. I didn't know anything about it.
No,
so.
It does sound pretty odd. They liken it to their oddball films like Ninja 3 and Gun Woman.
Has it had a release before?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it had a release before. I'm sure it did, but it seems like very unknown, or at least unwatched.
Mm-hmm.
In a remote desert town, a psychopathic petty crook and his transvestite girlfriend kidnap and raise an orphaned infant, cage it like an animal, and train it to steal and kill on their command. Years later, when the half-wild Sonny Boy escapes and embarks on a bloody rampage, the couple's monstrous attempt at child development provoked the local populace into vengeful... Listen here, guy, okay? You're not very good at it either.
No, who wrote that synopsis? I was laughing at the fucking... God, I mean, you were fucking up. I was laughing at you fucking up the first time, but then they were like, when they're monstrous, whatever. I was like, who the fuck wrote this? It fucking sucks.
It's a wickedly offbeat tale of family love gone berserk.
Wow.
Yeah. You should hire a new writer.
I mean, I heard like transvestite in there. It is wrote weird. Like like the way that they wrote like raise an orphaned infant, cage it like an animal. It comes off weird. But yeah, that's one from 1989.
89.
You know what else? No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say it only worked once in the first place, so.
Oh, fucking Debbie over
hating
here.
on it. Hating. You know what? You do the rest of the news. I'm done. How prepared are you for the news, Jeremy? Exactly. So, Scream Factory.
I sent you shit all week, fucker.
Scream Factory is also releasing a double feature: The House Where Evil Dwells and Ghost Warrior. One is from 1982. One is from 1984. These ones look weirdo too.
The House of Evil Dwells. That's a good film, man. I have the DVD of that. It's a pretty good film, man. I have to say.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one I never really even thought about Scream Factory releasing on Blu-ray. It seems like the consensus seems like no one's even heard of or knows anything about this film, and I'm like, it's had a DVD release like a long time ago.
Which one? The House of Where Evil Dwells?
Yeah.
What about Ghost Warrior?
Ghost Warrior, I believe, does not have a release. I didn't really know anything.
Ghost Warrior is a Charles Band production, so
yeah.
All back.
As far as I know, it doesn't have a release. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I've been known to be wrong once or twice in my life, so
nah, never.
But no, I'd never even heard of the film. Just the name alone I was curious. Ghost Warrior, really? Yeah. Sounds terrible. Sounds fucking terrible.
Well, Charlie Band does like to use the word ghost, so.
Yeah. Ghost.
And doll / puppet / any little thing.
/ fuck JP.
Any gimmicky word, you know?
Well,
yes.
It happens. It's Charlie Band, man.
Yep. After that, good.
Yeah, I was going to say we could go off on a serious tangent again with Charlie Band talk.
We've done many of those.
Yeah.
So they also announced an IFC Midnight. This one's going to street on January 12th, so 2016. This one, Jeremy has actually already seen. It is Contracted Phase 2.
Yeah, it sucks.
I believe different director.
Yeah.
Different director in that one.
It's not very good. It's interesting. It has continuity, but it sucks.
Well, it's disappointing, man, because you said that the Contracted 2 picks up right where the first one leaves off, right? Like,
it
is
even
literally
is described as picking up immediately after the events of the first film.
Is it like literally in the same location and everything?
Yeah,
like
same scene.
That's cool, man. That's really
I love
cool.
when films do that.
Yeah, me too, man.
It's too bad.
Then it sucks.
Too bad. And finally, I believe we all saw this coming, but we got a little iffy on it after the first one went out of print. And that is the Vincent Price Collection Volume 3 hitting Blu-ray in the first half of 2016.
Yeah, I mean, it was inevitable, wasn't it? You know?
Inevitable.
I mean, the guy made a million films, so yeah, it seems like they'd be able to get another couple.
But this is coming at perfect timing because I was on Amazon today, like I always am, buying movies because I don't need any more. You know, it's fucking retarded. And
you used the R word twice.
I know, I'm so bad.
What is this R word?
I don't know.
It's like saying the N word.
No, it's not. It's not like saying the N word.
I don't mean it derogatory. It's just an adjective to describe how retarded I am.
Now that is how you defend using the N word.
Exactly. See, I'm smarter than I look. But no, anyway, so I was on Amazon and I was, searching around, and of course Kino has another sale going on Amazon.ca right now. Like everything went from, because up in Canada, all the Kino releases are usually like $30 and they're never purchased by me because they're $30. And everything dropped down to like $11 or $12 again. And I seen the Oblong box on there, and it's a Vincent Price film, and I was like, well, I got to grab that because it's not on either one of the first two volumes of the Vincent Price box sets. And it being an MGM release, I was like, well, it probably is eventually going to get a release. Lo and behold, not even like an hour later, JP says to me, he's like, yeah, Vincent Price 3 collection was announced. I'm like, what the fuck? I bet you $100 the Oblong box is in that fucking set.
It's not, because Kino, you gotta remember, dude, Kino is a U.S. company releasing the MGM title, so Scream Factory is therefore not going to be able to get it also.
But they can't have some type of
I mean, yeah, they can, but
No, I just thought it was interesting timing that they just put this out and this gets announced. And I understand. There's tons and tons of Vincent Price movies that could be put on there, and they're missing some really good ones from the first two volumes. Oblong Box is a good film. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. So if it is on there, it is what it is. I actually hope it isn't now, because I do have that Blu-ray coming, and Kino does really good work with their Blu-rays.
Yeah, that Oblong Box is actually from 1969. I did research on that one. We originally was going to do 1969 next. But I love the cover art to that one. Yeah, it's a cool film. So yeah, the films that are actually in the the third volume are Master of the World from 1961.
Oh, really?
Tower. Go ahead.
I didn't see any specs on this, so I didn't even fucking find it. I went on the Scream Factory page, I didn't even see it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the homies in the group page are slacking, because normally I'll go to do an article on the site, a news article, and it'll be posted 4 times in the group page, and I'll be like, well, what's the fucking point?
That's what happens when we take 3 weeks off, man. Everyone's like, well, what the fuck? I don't want to post anything on there. But that is strange, because Derek usually, the second something's posted, it is on our group page within
Zach
minutes.
Is like that.
Sales are like that too. I don't even search for sales anymore. I just wait for people to post them. Yeah. 24-hour flash sale. Bang. There's $200 gone. Fuckers. So.
I'm sorry that you has to post.
No, it's good though. I like it that people stamp on that. But I was really surprised on such a big, Scream Factory announcement that no one fucking told me, man.
Yeah, I did. I honestly seen it today, and it was posted yesterday. I found that so odd.
Yeah, it is strange.
But so the second film is Tower of London from 1962.
Oh yeah.
The third film is Diary of a Madman from 1963. And the fourth film is Cry of the Banshee from 1970, and then there's a fifth film, An Evening with Edgar Allan Poe from 1970.
Well, that's cool. They got An Evening with Edgar Allan Poe in there. That's cool. Well, that's good, man, because I don't have any of those movies.
Yeah, that's good.
This is fucking perfect, man. And there's only 5 on this one?
Yeah, there's only 5. How many is it? There's only 5 on the first one, right?
Yeah, 6 on the second one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I wish they could get some of that. Like the Tingler would have been a cool one to see on there, but that's Sony, I believe.
Yeah, that would have been. Actually, the Tingler is one of my favorite Vincent Price films.
I've actually never seen it.
It's got some fun, cheesy effects in it, but no, that's really cool, man. That's good, man. That the Oblong Box is not on there, and all the other films I don't have. So sweet.
And that's it, man. That's all the news. But I'm excited for that Vincent Price set. I have the first 2. Luckily, I have the first one. Because it is now out of print, and
speaking on that, okay,
money.
Yeah, speaking about the first Vincent Price volume, okay, I'm not going to go into it going out of print because we know these things happen. It's not a big deal. But what the fuck was with Scream Factory announcing that there was 25 returns? Now, who was returning their box set?
Okay, so you have to look at it this way. Yes, exactly, Jeremy.
Okay, what happened?
Sometimes when you ship out all these copies, right? And if they don't sell at stores,
I bet you there's still
under
copies
some
out
circumstances, there's definitely still copies out there on shelves. Some stores are allowed to, depending on the deal, ship them back. Most of the time, they're allowed. If they don't sell, they ship them back to the company. Now, if they ship them back, maybe they're in another warehouse, or maybe they're they keep that stuff somewhere else, and maybe eventually they find it,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not actual.
And so they just charge the actual retail price for it, the $80 or whatever for it, and they went out, they sold in one day.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It was a couple hours. I don't even think it was very long at all.
Yeah, well, I think the prices that were going for them on the third market, or what were they? I think they were pretty damn high there for a minute.
Yeah, I seen one on Bull Moose just a couple weeks ago for an affordable price.
I think I seen one on eBay for 120 or 130.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jeremy could, cross-reference that, but it was about 120 something. I was like, holy shit. It's getting up there. So
yeah, I love finding out-of-print stuff on Bull Moose.
Yeah, I wish that site shipped to Canada, man, because I keep hearing you guys talk about this and posting those great deals, and it seems like the selection is pretty good too.
The only reason it's good is because people don't know about it.
Let's see, we have 149.
We just fucked it over because this show is so big and popular that the whole world just found out right now.
Yeah, I know, and I was playing with fire before when I talked about it in videos and stuff, but I found. Honestly, 3 of my favorite finds in a while. I found the Martin DVD for $5-6. I found Summer of Fear for $5-6, and I found a sealed copy of Amityville 6.
Yeah, that's a fucking find and a half. That's a good one, man. Man, I don't even have a copy of that film. It's a good find.
So anyway, Vincent Price, Volume 1, 149, 149, 159. 169, 169, 151, 160, 150.
An average will do, dude.
So an average 150.
So I think maybe the one I saw for 120 something must have sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Crazy, man. But then again, if it was the cheapest one on there and you really want it,
I'll tell somebody right now how to get a cheap copy of Hell Night. I don't know about cheap, but there's a box set, the old Anchor Bay 6-packs, is on Bull Moose right now for about $16, and it has like Antichrist and a couple other films in it, but one of the films in there is actually Hell Night,
which is worth the purchase in itself because it goes for what, $30 still?
Yeah,
roughly?
probably.
Yeah. So
somebody wants to grab it.
And honestly, I think the version that's in those 6-pack Anchor Bay releases is the original release of it too, because there's two different releases for the Hell Night DVD. One has Hell Night written in red, which is the original release, and there's a re-release that's written in white. And I believe that the original release is in those 6-packs. But don't quote me on it.
Yeah, I think you're right, because
somebody bought it.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the point is that's a steal of a deal because it's worth it just for that original pressing. Well, I mean, the re-release still isn't original. Like, whatever, it's just release. It's the exact same thing, just with different writing on the cover.
Yeah. Those little 6-packs were cool, man. I liked them, but unfortunately, even when I started collecting, really, 3 of the 4 were out of print. The zombie one, the killer animals one, and the devil one was out of print, and only the Campy Classics was left available, which I did grab for about $6, and I still own to this day.
I wish I was more of a free-spirited buyer back in those days and didn't care about double dipping and just was a total idiot back in those, because I used to see those around.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a couple of those and going, well, I don't want to buy this just for these movies because I already own 1 or 2 of these, And what a fucking mistake that was, man, because I really want those. I don't have either one of those, any one of those 4. Mm-hmm. And it's strange, too, because I have a lot of Anchor Bay, but that was the problem. I bought all the releases, or many of them when they were, released sold. And, if I had seen them today, obviously I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm grabbing that shit, man. It's a fucking 6-pack. But I don't know what I was thinking back in the day. I probably just maybe didn't have the money, as much. Or I don't know, but I regret it. I'm stupid. Yeah. It happens. Don't you hate that though? Like, thinking back, like I actually don't even own the the Hellraiser cube, and I remember seeing it in stores all the time, and it was like $20 for that fucking thing, and I never bought it. I was like, I have all the Hellraiser films.
I remember seeing it all the time too.
This is before even Blu-ray and stuff, right? I'm like, well, I don't fucking need this. I already got the DVDs, whatever, and I passed it over just like you did. And now I really want it because it'd be a cool piece to have, and now it's like, I don't know. I never look for it. I don't know what it goes for, but it's one of those things I wish I had just bought just for the sake of buying, whatever. But it happens, I guess. So is that it for the releases? Are we still in the releases?
Well, that's news. We haven't even got to the releases. You do the releases.
No, I meant your announcements or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, JP here, post-podcast, and I just needed to let you guys know a little something. So, my homie from way back, Stephen Ferrandino, was working in the Midnight Releasing offices, and he posted a contest in our Facebook group. Unfortunately, we had already recorded the podcast, so we couldn't let you guys know about it, but through the technology of editing, I can go back, insert this clip, where I explained to you guys that Midnight Releasing is having a contest. So, first thing you gotta do, head on over to their Facebook, like their page, then go under their pinned post, which is a Halloween costume contest. Then you post a picture of your scariest Halloween costume. 4 of you will win some DVDs. There are 4 prize packs from the Honorable Mention Anthology Mini Pack all the way up to the first prize pack, which is a bunch of newly released Midnight Releasing films, and one of them, I believe, includes Blood Punch, which I was very high on, so I definitely recommend you guys head on over there, check this contest out. I know that there's some people out there who go all out on their Halloween costumes, so post it down below, and I bet you have a good shot of winning. So they will pick the 4 best and scariest, potentially, and awesomest. I don't know how they're actually going to judge it, but just do it. It would be very awesome of you to like their page as well. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for now. I gotta edit this goddamn beast of a podcast. I'll let you get back to listening later.
All right, so yes, moving along into Moodz Swingz in the I'm drinking too much over here. DVD and Blu-ray releases for what is it? Oh yeah, October 27th, 2015. Holy shit. Man, it is already the end of October.
Yeah.
This month is going by fast. And I will say it is going by really fast because of the 31 Days of Horror. Do you find it, JP, or is it just kind of the same type of speed for you? Because I find this month has been ripping by doing something every day. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But first up for the releases for the 27th is from Scream Factory, of course. Well, have we talked about Scream Factory tonight? I can't remember.
I think so. Something about a movie that came out in 2002 called...
called Ginger Snaps.
Fuck you.
I remember when this first got announced, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, Scream Factory? Really? You're gonna put this out?" And of course, it is Army of Darkness, and I say that because Army of Darkness has so many releases. I mean, Anchor Bay alone has like 97 releases or something of it. This is a pretty interesting triple disc. I do like the cover art on it, the new sanctioned cover art. I think it's pretty cool. What are your guys' thoughts on the Army of Darkness?
Triple disc Scream Factory.
Yeah, triple disc. Yeah, that was kind of the cool thing. So I like the new sanction art for it. I think it's pretty cool.
That actually has some interesting features on it, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, Army of Darkness. Next up from Arrow Video is the Black Cats set, which is, of course, based on the Edgar Allan Poe short story, of course. And we got films by Sergio Martino and Lucio Fulci. Of course, is my favorite director. Sergio Martino's done so many good films in a lot of different genres, too. Oddly enough, I have never seen this film that's in here because I know it had a DVD release back in the day by No Shame, and that label fell.
No Shame?
No Shame was a company.
Yeah, I never even heard of that, dude.
Yeah, it's like the early days of DVD, and all their DVDs go for fucking dumb money, like stupid money. The company got changed into, I think it was Maya Communications took over, and then Maya folded 2, and that went into 1/7, I believe, or something. I'm sure Derek could figure that out, but there is something there, But anyways, those older releases, they released a lot of, Italian stuff and really good releases. But they just went under. But what the hell is the name of the film? Your Vice is a locked room and only I have the key. That is
title is that.
That is the longest title ever. And of course, The Black Cat by Lucio Fulci are in the set. And from what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing, this set is beautiful. Huge booklet. Of course, it's got the typical Arrow Blu-ray releases, reversible cover, but the box itself is like a brick. So very cool release.
I like that they're actually individually cased as well.
Yeah. Arrow really does a good job. And that's the funny thing about Arrow Video is that they put this much effort into films that probably shouldn't get releases like this. Like I said, I haven't seen the Sergio Martino film before, but I have 2 copies of Black Cat by Fulci, and it's not the greatest Fulci film, but still a very cool box set. Next up from Artsploitation Films is their latest release, and that's Bloody Knuckles, coming straight from Canada. And from what I've been hearing, is fucking hilarious. So that's really cool.
Funny as hell, that movie.
That's good to hear, man. That's really good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Awesome. So Canada putting it down for Artsploitation.
Awesome
finally
features on that release, too.
Nice. They got commentary and stuff?
Commentaries and that feature where he goes to Diabolic DVD. It's like the coolest feature I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, I'm happy that Artsploitation finally released something from the foreign land of Canada.
Yeah, so fuck those Canadians.
Next up from Olive Films, we've got Breeders, and I believe this is another release that someone here has. Breeders is Breeders. I don't know. It was a film I was not excited about when Olive released it. Yeah, I've seen it. I have it. So, I don't know. I haven't watched it in years, but I don't know. I can't quite remember. I just remember it being like really cheesy. So,
I don't know. How's the transfer on it?
It's good. It's not amazing or anything, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is one I've been hearing a lot of buzz about, actually, with Jason Bateman and Rebecca Hall.
The Gift.
The Gift. I've been hearing a lot of people
reviews.
Yeah, a lot of positive reviews about this one. It's definitely a film that if I didn't hear a lot of good buzz about it, I probably would never check out because I hate the title. It's just so generic and boring. It would just fly by me and never come back.
See, I like titles like that, man. I really like titles that are just like one-word titles.
Yeah, I'm not overly a huge fan, to be honest, but The Gift, maybe it's just, I don't know.
The Hand. Like, I like titles like that.
See, I prefer, like,
The
referring to hands. I like, for referring to hands, it'd be like Bloody Knuckles. That's cool, man. Bloody Knuckles. Next up here from, I believe Kino is releasing this one. Yeah, it is Kino, and it is Heart of Midnight. This is more of a thriller. I've heard about this film before. I believe this is the first release this ever got. It's more of a thriller type film. Apparently, it's like Jennifer Jason Leigh's best performance she's ever had, and a film that no one's seen. Go figure, right? So yeah, I actually did order this. I've been always curious about this film, so had to check it out. And of course, from Scream Factory, again, we've got the complete sequence of the Human Centipede trilogy. So the box set containing all three films.
A lot of hate on that box set. I'm a fan of it. I like the idea.
I don't really think it's a bad idea either, because they not only released the box set on the same day they're releasing part 3 by itself also.
Yeah, and what I think is cool about that box set is it actually has the colored version of Human Centipede 2.
That's fucking awesome. I must have missed that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, a lot of people were too busy hating on it to even read the special features.
I wasn't busy hating on it at all. I just didn't even know that because, well, let's face it.
We have a discussion about this a few weeks ago.
Oh, we probably did. I just have a really bad memory.
Yeah, so. My memory's shit these days.
But yeah, honestly, my biggest problem, the Human Centipede box isn't that overpriced considering you get 3 films and
what is
stuff.
The
price?
It is.
I think here. Oh, yeah. Actually, I'll click on it because most of our listeners are American. So, $49.99 on .com.
Yeah, I'll wait till I can get it for about $35-$40.
Yeah, I believe it's 50 or 49. I think it's 54 in Canada. So relatively, it's actually technically cheaper. Yeah, but whatever. Human Centipede 3, of course, coming out from Scream Factory by itself. So if you don't want to pick up the box set, if you already have the 2 original IFC Blu-ray releases, which are okay, and once I pick up the Human Centipede box set, I will get rid of my IFC releases because there's no point in keeping them, right? So, I mean, I guess most people are saying, why wouldn't you just pick up the third one?
Yeah.
And put them together? And it's like, because I can't do that. My OCD would fucking kill me. I could not handle that. That would not work. So, yeah, box set for me. But for the people that don't give a shit and don't have OCD problems, it's by itself. Go grab it. Next up from Criterion, the Criterion Collection. Not necessarily a horror film, but fucking bizarre because it comes from David Lynch. And that's Mulholland Drive, which is a fucking bizarre film that I really, really enjoy, man. Even though half the time, if I blink, I lose what's going on. It's one of those type of films.
Strange movie.
It's such a strange film, but it's one of those films that you can't stop looking at because it's so weird. Mm-hmm. Like just the presentation of the film and the way it's such a weird film. Very cool stuff. Next up here from All of Films is Phase 4. And this is a film I don't even have a copy of myself.
I have 2 copies.
I can't believe I don't
put those next to your Vampire Diaries.
I just never bought the DVD of Phase 4.
Vampire Journal, Jamie.
It's close enough.
Yeah, this is a Blu-ray I am going to pick up because, I'll have to buy it sometime. But, Phase 4 from All of Films. If you're not familiar with it, it is a, ant film. Killer ant film.
Love killer ants.
Also from Kino, we've got Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back.
That's Olive, bro.
That's Olive, bro.
Did I say Kino?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. Yeah, from Olive, Sometimes They Come Back. Of course I know that. Not really my favorite Stephen King adaptation. I won't lie.
I really like it. To me, it always felt like a TV movie, but it also is very depressing. It's a very depressing movie, but I've always been a fan.
That is true. I don't know, man. When they first announced it, I wasn't overly stoked about it because I have the DVD and I was like, I don't need to upgrade this, man.
Well, that's probably the one you're gonna get from Olive.
Probably. Well, that's just my luck, right? Next up here from Warner is another one of these collections. They put out the Hammer Horror Volume 1 just recently this month too, which is a really, really good box set. And I believe this one's the exact same, and it's called the Special Effects Collection, featuring Mighty Joe Young, Son of Kong, Them, and the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
God, Them is so cheesy.
Yeah.
I love Them. Them is a great fun time.
Them is a fun film, yeah. This one right here, I've got to grab, man. So I grabbed the Hammer Horror one, and the quality of it is so good. Like, the box is just like a brick too, and the digibook is all nice and really good stuff. So, but yeah, if you want to, and I believe all these are getting solo Blu-ray releases too. So you can grab them like that. Next up from our favorite company in the world, Twilight Times. They are releasing John Carpenter's Vampires. They just seem to love releasing films that I would love to have an upgrade of, but I won't buy. Unless, of course, it's The Blob, because I caved on that one.
Fucking hypocrite.
Fucking hypocrite. I admit it. I am a hypocrite. I totally admit it. So you can't rip on me. I'm an asshole. But yeah, John Carpenter's...
that title's JP's title.
Vampires, man. Fuck. Ugh. I love it, man. I love that film. I know it gets a lot of mixed reviews and stuff, but I've always been a big fan. Next up, man, we've got this one looks super independent, and I believe, it is being released by Wild Eye, and that is Creeps.
Like the cover art, man. Good cover.
You know, I mean, with Wild Eye, it might be the best thing about the film. Who knows? But, it's Wild Eye. Next up here from Bill Sabub, our favorite indie director. He's releasing a film called Nightmare on Elmo Street, featuring Erin Brown, who I actually met at Wasteland earlier this year. And she was awesome. You never know what you're going to get with a Bill Sabub film.
So you always know what you're going to get with a Bill Sabub film.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, he does some comedy films, and then he does like straight up like total serious films. It's fucking strange, man.
I would like to see one of those totally serious films, because everything I've seen are fucking, like, I don't like them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I'm not actually a big fan of his like comedy ones either, because I just feel like he's just kind of going through the motions to get the film done a lot of the times. And his more serious ones are actually, well, they're just indie, low budget, shitty films that are serious. They're better. Just put it that way. So, I don't know. This one's got Erin Brown in it. He's got like a well-known actress. So you're
saying, do you want a turd on JP's face, or do you want a turd on the toilet?
Jesus, dude. Jesus Christ.
Our fucking favorite company, once again, Wild Eye is releasing Caesar and Otto's Paranormal Halloween. Now, as bad as that sounds, Caesar and Otto actually does some pretty funny films. So
the Christmas one, I've heard of the Christmas one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun, man. They got some pretty clever jokes in there and stuff. So, before you go judging, like Paranormal Halloween, I know that title is terrible, but you have to remember it's Caesar and Otto putting this out, so it could be pretty funny. Next up, I believe, again from Wild Eye. I want to say this is Wild Eye. Yeah,
what is this?
It's called The Sadist with Tom Savini, apparently, is in this film.
It says Tom Savini, The Sadist, like as if it's like Tom Savini's film, but apparently he's just an actor.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know, the cover looks okay. I don't know. It's cheesy bad, I guess, but yeah. Another film with Erin B. Ryan. No, it's a totally different actress. This one is straight independent. I think you can get this one on the what website is that? But I've been hearing really good things about this one. A few reviews going around. I know Steve did one. I know Dave did one for Scare Waves. A lot of good things about this one. So
great cover, man. Great cover.
Yeah, and very 80s. So it's got Erin Ryan in it. Of course, she plays in many, Dustin Mills films and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Next up here is, I'm not even 100% sure what this is.
As soon as I seen this, I had not seen of it until I'm looking at it right now, and I gotta say, you would think that something with this title would have had a bigger press.
Talking about the Psycho one?
Yeah, it's released by like Film.
I've heard about
Film
this
Lady
before.
or whatever. It's True Fear: The Making of Psycho. Yeah, I was like checking my DVDs and Blu-rays. I'm like, is this documentary on here? Or are they just releasing it solo? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is, man. So,
Yeah.
But I guess it's The Making of Psycho. I don't know. Anyways.
You want a good Psycho doc, check out Rob G's The Psycho Legacy.
Yeah, it's really good. From our second favorite company out there, Full Moon is releasing a film called Devious.
Doesn't even look like a Full Moon title.
No, it doesn't. And
Looks like a Wild Eye.
Nah, it looks like an Anchor Bay.
I'd say
Wild Eye, Anchor Bay, same thing. I don't know, man. When I first saw that, too, I was like, that does not look like Full Moon at all. It looks a little serious, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
Okay. Next up here, How to Save Us All.
Where's the fucking ghostly at?
How to Save Us All? It's definitely not a ghostly. It kind of looks like a post-apocalyptic. I don't know what the fuck. Doesn't really look that interesting. And of course, to end the DVD and Blu-ray releases for the 27th is a film called Rags, released by Wild Eye Releasing. These guys are on a fucking tear. Fucking tear. What is this? I swear to God, in October, they've released 414 films. Is that a new world record?
Well, at least it's on 97 like it usually is.
97. They're into the the triple digit, like 400 films this month.
They released 3 of my professor's films.
I think every week they've released like 4 or 5. So, I mean, really, that's a lot of work they're putting in, man. I mean,
supporting the indies, man.
I know. I mean, you have to give it up to them, man. At least they're doing that. You know, without these companies, we wouldn't see a lot of these titles and have the
we wouldn't see these titles. We might. We wouldn't.
Exactly. But you never know. There still is Trauma out there, right? And we're not even getting started on Trauma. So shut the fuck up, JP. Yeah. But that is going to do it for the DVD and Blu-ray releases.
What's the release of the week?
October 27th, 2015. And I'm getting to that.
All right, go on.
My release of the week. Is this going to cause some controversy?
It could.
I don't know. Is it going to?
Where the fuck is Dr. Terror's House of Horrors?
Oh, is that actually slated to come out this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, someone fucked up on their list here.
Yeah, it's never a complete list from this site.
No, it really isn't. I mean, to be honest, this is a really good reference and stuff, and I give this guy full credit from the horror club .blogspot.ca, which is interesting because that's a Canadian.
Nah, mine is the horrorclub.blogspot.com.
Really? I just see it. That's fine. But anyways, no, I think he does a good job. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but he'll throw shit on there like Southpaw.
Yeah,
the Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
well, that's the thing because he puts on cult films too, right? You know
that's not a cult film.
Well, I don't know what the fuck Southpaw is.
It's that boxing movie, that like mainstream boxing movie that just came out with like Eminem.
Eminem's in that?
Jesus,
he did the entire soundtrack.
Oh.
All right, so for the pick of the week this week, now I was really kind of scratching my balls over this one. It was weird, man, because I had an itch on my head and it was strange. And I was like,
so you don't have a beard anymore, so you have to itch your balls?
That's how it works. Because I'm like, wow, this week has a lot of good releases. Like, you can't forget about.
It's like KFC, it makes your balls itch.
Yeah. Army of Darkness, Human Centipede box sets. I mean, those are pretty decent releases. And of course, you got the special effects collection. But ultimately, I did cave and I went with the obvious choice, and that, of course, is Arrow's Black Cat set. I mean, really, who the fuck is messing with this company right now? These guys are putting out gold.
Yeah, I haven't seen the films, but I can't disagree on just the packaging alone. If the films are even half good, I think that it would be the release of the week for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, I originally I was going to go with the special effects collection because I have the Hammer collection and I know this one's identical to it and I'm like, it's really quality too. But gotta go with Arrow, man, on this one. So the Black Cats, definitely pick that up. But there's a lot of good releases this week. I recommend the Screen Factories, Artsploitation, as Jeremy recommends it apparently. I haven't seen it yet, so. But yeah, that is going to do it for the releases. So I do not know, but do we have any voicemails or questions this week at all?
Yeah, we have a couple voicemails. They're probably from a few weeks ago because they are on my phone and I don't remember getting them. I don't know what they're about.
Are you going to get them all this week, or are we going to have angry commenters once again?
Well, fuck those people.
I never know.
Look at Jeremy. Fuck our listeners. Don't alienate our listeners, man. We only have 4 of them. Fuck.
Sorry. Fuck Derek. Fuck Brandon. Fuck Sack. And fuck Dylan. There. And fuck JP.
That's not bad that you named off 4 people that quick. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That is impressive. But I was, honestly, speaking of listeners, I had Martin VP actually
fuck Martin VP too.
He actually commented on a video the other day, and I was like, dude, where the fuck you been, man? And then he responded to it and shit, and it was understandable. He had a kid, and life gets busy. I can relate. But yeah, it was very interesting to see someone that was such a huge supporter of the first season, and just always down, just get busy in life and stuff. But it was cool to see him come back. So
yeah,
I felt good at that point. I was like, that's cool.
At that time, he was probably our number one supporter in terms of just like regular comments, regular listens, regular feedback.
And it's too bad because this is before we had the voicemail and stuff. I don't believe we had it in the first season. So if we did, maybe he would have phoned in and left one. So
phone in,
whatever. Call in, joke that bitch. Give a fuck. Phone call that shit, man.
Every time you say it, it just fucking kills me. It's so
goddamn Canadian lingo.
What kills me is how much it kills Jeremy. It even kills me more.
That's so funny. Every time he says
because not only does he say phone, and he knows you're gonna laugh at it, but then he tries to fix it, and he says phone call, which we don't say either.
No. We don't even say that either. I was trying to explain this one time. I use the word phone and I use the word call all the time, but in different scenarios, and it's weird. I'll say call. I need to call that bitch or whatever. I don't know why I'd be saying call that bitch because I'm fucking married.
Because you're talking to Jeremy, that's why.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But it's funny because I was trying to think about it. I'm like, I do use phone and I use call. And I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. I'm glad that I amuse you guys, though. That's good.
Yep. And you amuse our listeners. And speaking of our listeners, here is Brandon.
Ooh. Hey, guys. It's Brandon calling in. It's been a while. Just want to call in, say hi. Talk a little bit about 2015. It's been a phenomenal year, I think, for the genre so far. I actually think it's been stronger than last year, and I think it's mainly because of the diversity. I think you've seen a resurgence in the slasher genre and the horror comedy genre. And I know horror comedy gets a lot
already talked about this.
A lot of crap from a lot of people.
That's a perfect pause.
I think that's just mainly because over the last, I don't know how many years, it's just been more of the comedy making fun of the story, making fun of the horror, rather than it being subtle and kind of almost driving the story. And I think the horror comedies this year have been really top-notch. Love to hear your thoughts. I think this year is also going to be pretty crazy when it comes down to the end of the year top 10 show. No standout frontrunners for me, but as someone who's seen close to 100 films already this year, I could probably have about
bragger
40 to 50 films that could potentially be in my top, I'm going to do, I guess, the top 30 this year. So, yeah, just thought I'd call in, get your thoughts on horror comedies. I also hear a lot of people say that horror comedies only work if they're done right. I want to know what that means. For me, that means the subtlety of the humor, kind of not, overdoing it and kind of taking away from the scary part of the story. But just wondering what your guys' thoughts are on that. All right, take care. Later.
On that note, suburban gothic. That's how you do it right. It's comedic timing and a good script. And I agree, man. If it's over the, I think sometimes things work if they're over the top based on what the film is, offering. In suburban gothic, the storyline is a little bit silly, of course, but it's not like ridiculously silly. But what makes it work is the script is smart too. It's smart and it's funny, and it casted well. You know, whoever wrote the screenplay for the film did a really good job, but he cast these people that just had the greatest comedic timing in it, and I think those are the elements that make these type of films work. I mean, it's kind of hard to really pinpoint exactly what works because there's different types of comedies and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And I think some of the overtop ones do work for what they are, but I think for suburban gothic, what I'm talking about, you know, it's a little more subtle at times. Like there's some jokes in there that I fucking was pissing myself, and they're kind of subtle just the way they're delivered. And it's like, I personally think those are the best type of comedies. Suburban Gothic, I think, is the standout one that I've seen this year. The worst being Gravy, and I know Brandon, who just phoned in, really enjoyed that one. I think that movie just did not work. I think honestly, I think it's complete shit. I won't lie. I think it's one of the worst. It's just really, really bad. But I think, you know, oddly enough, of course, the editor has comedic elements to it too, of course, because, you know, they're almost in a way spoofing, you know, giallo films and, you know, Italian films in general. But again, the script is fucking smart, man. It's really, really smart, and it makes sense. And I think that's what really works. So, you know, the editor and Suburban Gothic are, you know, on the same type of level. They're different. They're completely different type of films, but those are the elements that worked for me. So.
For me personally, it's about how well you tell the joke. It isn't just because you do a joke or just because you do something offensive. Like, take a Beelzebub film, for example. Like, he is like offensive like South Park, but not intelligently clever like South Park. Yeah. And to me, a horror comedy is about subtlety most of the time. Now, there are like the over-the-top ones that I enjoy too sometimes, but my personal favorite is like the Return of the Living Dead, Chainsaw 2 type horror comedies where it's this dark humor. I enjoy that because to me it doesn't.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly.
There it is.
Texas Chainsaw 2. Yeah. It doesn't deviate from the story to be funny. The funniness is part of the story. It's just happening like smoothly. And when you have these films that are just dumb joke after dumb joke, just because they think of something offensive or they think of something that is so outrageous, like to me that shit, it's silly. It doesn't work. It's amateurish. Anybody could come up with that shit. The reason you don't go to a comedian to see a stand-up comic just because they wrote down the most retarded shit that they could think of. Like, the jokes are clever. They're crafted. And they have to be in movies, too, for it to work for me.
Do you find that casting... I don't care.
Do you think that casting really helps, though? Like, you know, just...
Yeah, well, you mentioned the comedic timing. That's a huge thing in a film like... the film that we watched last year, the title of it's escaping me, Moodz, the New Zealand one. It made both of our top 10s. Housebound, yes. That one, the timing was great. Like it was almost all timing. Like comedic timing is what made that film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like with Suburban Gothic for me was, you know, I've never seen the show Criminal Minds before, but the guy that stars in it, Matthew Gray Gubler, I believe is what his name is. Apparently plays kind of a weirdo in the show too, but you know, he kind of plays a very similar kind of, not like a rejected, you know, character in society or anything, but he's just odd. He's just an oddball. But I think the casting was perfect for the part, you know, like it just seems like that type of person was just perfect to play it, you know. But, you know, it comes down to the script. But honestly, the way lines are delivered by this guy in the film are so brilliant. It's perfect. And I think that, you know, obviously everybody has different tastes in comedy, though, too. And I think that's really what it kind of comes down to. You know, if you like slapstick, ridiculous, over-the-top comedy, you know, if you like Chris Farley or you like someone like, you know, something more subtle, you know, I'm just throwing things out. You know, I understand why some people don't like Chris Farley films. Maybe they don't like that type of comedy or whatever.
Yeah, but I like those films as comedies.
Exactly.
Right?
But I'm just saying, I'm just taking, that kind of slapstick, but you put it into horror. Maybe it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but, personally, I think it does come down to the type of comedy that people do like,
That's true.
I guess it's all personal preference though too, but me personally, I do like the things like Suburban Gothic and stuff like that. Like in The Editor, I mean, The Editor is a little more silly at times, not silly, but it's just, you have to see it though. But Suburban Gothic is just one of those perfect comedies that is just based on great casting, script, and timing of comedic elements that just are awesome. So, I don't know, man. Jeremy, I would like to hear your views on this because I believe that that Brandon's actually referring to something that you quoted. I believe that you wrote it down in the Facebook page one day. Horror comedies are something that, or I think it was you. I don't know. They're funny if they're done right, or was that JP? I'm not sure who wrote that.
JP's more into this whole horror comedy than.
But I remember someone actually wrote that on a comment. So
I just want to laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it, but everybody does have different taste in what they find funny. I mean, personally,
what is your ideal?
I really demand. I made a joke earlier tonight when we were in the group page, and something about Zach saying that JP has Italian in him, and I said, well, only when Zach's standing behind him.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a clever joke.
See, it's funny. But I like sick jokes like that, it's but some people don't. And I don't mind to see that on film either. I find it kind of funny and oddly relaxing when when people are just discussing, I'm just like, yeah, I feel at home.
First of all, to me also going to that, you said some people don't like those type of jokes or whatever. To me, comedy has no boundaries. But that doesn't mean that you can just do the most insane thing and it be funny. And I don't have do whatever, as long as it's in the realms of the law, as long as you're not breaking the law. Funny, you can do whatever you want, and I don't think there should be any limit on both creativity and comedy in general. But
exactly.
Jeremy, what is your ideal horror comedy? Bloody Knuckles is really fucking funny. It has really good aspects of horror, and it has good gore and good effects and everything like that, but it just has some moments in it that's just really clever and really funny, in my opinion. I don't know how to really talk about it. Like I said, whatever just really makes me laugh. I really don't care what kind of style it's in. Just if it makes me laugh, that's all that matters to me.
Mm-hmm. Is it one, I know the film was made in Canada. Is it one of those, conscious Canadian comedies where they poke fun of Canada?
Well, not even that. It made me laugh. The main villain in the film is Asians, and you always talked to me when you were here about the Asians in Vancouver and how they're crazy. So just it just makes me laugh. I think there's jokes in there that you'll get more than I'll get simply because of the Canadian thing. But
yeah. Well, the thing, it also depends where it's filmed, though, too. Canada is just like the U.S. It's in the East Coast, I can't even understand those people talk. I don't fucking understand. They use words, they have accents that I don't get. Everything in the East is so different than the West. It's like a different country. And it's kind of you take a born and raised New Yorker, somebody from Brooklyn, and you put them into LA, it's like a different fucking world, right? Mm-hmm. That's exactly how it is here too. It's so strange. And people all the time ask me, they're like, "You're Canadian?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, well, you don't say a boot," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, stereotypes." But
yeah, it's everybody's like, "Oh, I love Step Brothers." I was like, "Okay, Step Brothers is funny and all," but I talk about Old School being one of my favorite comedies all the time, and there's not many people that really talk about that film that much anymore, but I fucking still love that movie. It makes me laugh every time I watch it. Like I said, it's whatever makes me laugh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My favorite
again coming down to personal preference of what you find is funny. It's just people have different comedy. Oh, by the way, for the listeners out there that don't know, my joke about JP and Zach, what makes it funny is Zach's Italian. People that don't know that. Yeah. I just wanted to, I'm sure there is people listening who are like, that's not funny. But it is if Zach's Italian, right? Yeah, because he's standing behind him. Clever.
But yeah, I mean, and also, Brandon, we look forward to publishing your top I believe you said you might even do a 30 this time on the website like we did last year. So we'll be looking forward to that.
Yes, Brandon, thank you once again for the call. And I actually do want you to maybe make a quick video or maybe even phone in and just explain why you find gravy to be so good. I'm actually really, really curious, man. I'm not trying to put you out there or whatever. I'm actually curious.
It's so funny. He does it subconsciously. It's fucking funny.
You know, there you go. There you go. So
yeah, just phone in again. So
call the show as soon as you can, or just, you know, maybe on the group page or whatever, but just tell me. I'm curious because I really did not find it funny at all. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have the homie Derek.
Hey guys, Derek here. I'm back again.
We are too.
Finally.
Yeah, us too.
It's ironic, isn't it?
I got one question for you guys this week. I was wondering, did you guys do your best of the year show?
Weird.
It'd be kind of interesting, like, well, cool if you guys would pay respect to, like, the ones that, like, in memoriam of all those that we lost in the horror world, because there's been a lot, and I know you guys covered a few of them, but it'd be really cool if, like, you guys could, like, do that, because it would be awesome, and pay respect to the ones that we all lost, and our favorite actors and directors and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. And I got another question, actually. If you could, like, take, like, 3 different Mongoloid films and make them like a family, who would you have as the father, who would you have as the wife, and who would be the baby of that family? P.S. They could be like a same-sex marriage couple or any of that good stuff.
Derek does not discriminate.
I go to North School. I never discriminate.
Answers. Wicked awesome.
So the first thing is maybe talking a little bit about the people who passed at the end of the year. That's not actually a bad idea. I was actually even considering maybe doing a non-film version of the Hall of Fame, and you know, obviously somebody like Wes Craven would be inducted, you know, and I think that might even be interesting.
I actually had this idea already. I just probably didn't bring it to you guys, but I thought about this, you know, because I remember we were having a conversation earlier and I said, man, this year has been crazy for deaths. You know, I don't know what it is about 2015, but so many people have passed away this year. And I was thinking, you know, of doing that or bringing up that idea for the 2015 show. But of course, Derek had to phone in and mention it. So that's good. That's good. That's awesome because I think it's a really good idea. It's actually quite a bit of research involved in this too. I can't quite remember everyone that's passed away, but this has been a pretty interesting year, and I think it make a really interesting subject or you know, segment too. So
yeah, you know what, Derek,
pay our respects.
Why don't you do us a favor and keep track of the people that are going to die in the rest of the few months
that are gonna die,
and make a list and have that ready for us.
Medical reports and everything. He's like, well, you know, fucking Carpenter's not looking too good. Oh, I take that back. Actually, shit, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey. Breaking news: John Carpenter dies because Moodz says so.
I think we honestly cursed the Wes Craven thing, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll take the blame for that one. But if you kill Johnny Carpenter in the same year, I'm going to be pissed. But Derek, yeah, maybe like one of the, even if not Derek, somebody can have a list for us like closer to the end of the year. That would be pretty awesome because, you know, I mean, the amount of research and just crazy stuff that we do during that time is just insane anyway. And I personally don't feel like adding another task if somebody else would do it for me. So,
yeah, awesome. So as for the other question, Mongoloids. Well, let's come up with one family here.
One, like, family together.
Jeremy, you pick the mother. Moodz, you pick the father, and I'll pick the baby.
Okay.
Well, I think there's only one mother that we have to go with here.
Who is it?
The mother from People Under the Stairs.
Is that a Mongoloid?
It has to be a mongoloid? Okay, let me rethink now. Moodz, you go first.
For a father, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd probably go with... I know it's such a cop-out, but I want to say Victor Crowley.
Baby Jason.
Baby Jason, that's a good one. Baby Jason. Nice. Okay, that works, though. Victor Crowley is the father of Baby Jason. Mm-hmm. Who's the mom?
Who gave
birth to this? Who gave birth to this mongoloid?
I wish you would have fucking gave me a heads up.
Jeremy doesn't like being put on the spot.
Come on, Jeremy. One mongoloid mom.
But it has to be a lady.
Yeah, I said mom.
I know. Well, how many mongoloid ladies are there?
We could always go the same sex route. Do you want to try your hand at that?
Nah. I want to think of a lady.
Lady.
Who the fuck's a mongoloid that's a lady? No, I'm serious.
All right, I'll pick it. Jennifer. I was waiting for him to say it because I thought it was an easy pick, but I'm going to go with Jennifer.
That was the obvious choice. Jeremy, you fail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
what
all right.
And Jeremy's never got an F in his whole life, so this is a big deal.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
But no, that makes sense, though. Really, Jennifer married to Victor Crowley?
I guess I better phone into my therapist and see if she can help me out.
But think about it. Jennifer, it will fuck anything, right? Like, she is a succubus, just fucking, grab Victor Crowley and just,
That's perfect, man, because, she needs someone that can kind of control her a little bit, Mm-hmm. Victor's powerful. He can just kind of place her hips on his mongoloid.
Out pops Baby Jason.
And there pops Baby Jason. That's good shit. Good stuff. Wow.
Well, I think we fucking murdered that question.
We did, man. I'm really hot and bothered.
No, I did.
Well, I meant murdered in a good way, but yes, murdered in a bad way.
Alright, that's alright. I guess I'm tired from fucking you, like Moodz said.
No, Moodz said me fucking you.
Oh, no. No, I don't think so.
Alright, let's move on to...
You are the asshole, so you're going to take it.
Oh!
I think that's the best thing you've ever came up with. Congratulations.
That was not bad. That was not bad.
That was pretty good. Alright, I ain't got nothing. Let's move on.
Oh!
Hey, this is Lawrence. I hope I'm calling in time for the podcast.
Did you say Lawrence?
3 weeks early.
I wanted to thank you for responding to my question about the genres and what movies have done it slightly differently. Sorry, I'm getting tired right now. But since you didn't get the question before, I thought I'd give it to you now. Surreal sets. I'm talking about set pieces, locations in movies that were just bizarre. Something that stood out in your mind. Something, it's a place where it's instantly recognizable. That you could not only tell where it is or what movie it came from, but it had some kind of impact. Maybe even as much impact as the actual characters that were in it. My pick would probably be the Cordova Milk Bar from A Clockwork Orange, or how about the town in the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? Yeah. Also, just about any room in the dance school of Suspiria would probably do it, but actually I think just about any room in any Dario Argento film is probably going to qualify for that, but definitely any location inside the dance house of Suspiria. Just want to know which set stood out for you, and hope you guys keep being awesome.
We will. We will keep being awesome.
Fucking House of Angst, man.
Yeah, that's a good one, Jeremy.
Fucking good.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that shit.
You suck.
Those were some good picks. I think, man, see, to me, like something that always stands out to me is just like, you know, the Elm Street house.
You fucking cop out.
No,
Be creative.
The Jeepers Creepers
That's okay.
fucking church with all the dead bodies stitched to the wall.
Okay. I think of like the Children of the Corn Part 5 compound.
And what was that? What compound?
Didn't they live in a fucking compound, Part 5?
And you're telling me, oh God. You're busting on my answers?
Okay, what was the original part of the question? What was the first part of the question again? Just sets that really stood out to you, like locations and stuff?
Yeah, that just are instantly recognizable.
Oh, man. Okay. The first one for me, straight hands down, is the hotel from The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So sweet, man. Always loved it.
Kubrick knew his locations.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's almost like a cop out to say
I feel like
a Kubrick film, but really, it's kind of, you know, you just.
Oh, I got one.
Eraserhead.
I got one. This one's the best one. The Psycho House.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but that's a cop out too.
Oh my!
Like,
what is a cop out? The question is, what is something that is completely recognizable, even more so than some of the characters? Like, the fucking Psycho House is amazing.
Okay, like saying, why do you
this
say
might be a little bit
cabin?
of a cop out too. But what about the cemetery in Night of the Living Dead? Is it a cop out?
No, but to me, it's not as recognizable. Like, if I walked up to that cemetery today, I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, that's the fucking cemetery from Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but yeah.
I walk up to 1428 and it has bars on the window, I'm gonna be like, that's Nancy's house.
Yeah. I mean,
same thing with the Psycho House, right? I mean, if you're standing at the motel and you look up at that house, like
the house in Fulci's Beyond.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I think there's been a few films filmed there. So, in New Orleans, you know? I thought it was a fucking sweet video that Jason did from Beyond the Realms. He was in New Orleans and he went to the Fulci Beyond house and he was filming. It's fucking cool, man. He's like standing out there. I'm like, holy fuck. It was just like so cool, man. Just like looked just like it. It's fucking rad. Pretty cool stuff, but. What's the segment that you really like that Buddy does there? Horror's
Hallowed Grounds. Fucking
Horror's
love it.
Hallowed Grounds. That's what it is. I always fuck that up, but yeah, those are pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
they're
my
better
favorite
appreciation for like sets and locations and stuff after watching things like that. I'm like, that's really fucking cool, actually.
Yeah, and it's even more interesting when like one location in the film is right here, and then it's like, and then we just walk 15 minutes down the road, and this is where they shot the barn scene, and then you're like, whoa, but that takes place way different place in the movie. You know, it's so cool.
Yeah, it is sweet.
So those are the voicemails.
What about the mall in Dawn of the Dead?
You fucking cop out.
No. I just want to say, like, no. I'm just asking a question, Jeremy. Holy fuck, settle down. I was asking JP since he's been there. So, like, when you walk into the mall, is it like that recognizable still, or is it just like is it like all brand new and?
Yeah, it's not really this like recognizable like it would be if you would walk into. Yeah, it's actually been a few years since I've even been there, but.
I'm just busting your balls because we are horror historians. We should come up with better answers than what everybody else would say.
But that's the question, though, right? He's asking what are the locations that are instantly recognizable in horror, and
everybody fucking knows that who's listening to this show in the first place.
Hey, you never know, man.
I guess so.
You never know.
I think it's more of just a reason to discuss these locations.
In other words, Jeremy was just being himself.
Yeah, just being an asshole.
It's okay.
No, you said snob. JP's the asshole.
Yeah.
You're the snob, and I'm just I'm just fucking loud.
You're the annoying. Canadian.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fuck those Canadians.
Fucking Canadian. Yeah. Any more?
Nope, that's all of them.
Oh, that's all the voicemails, so we didn't have any questions. We don't get questions anymore because nobody leaves comments anymore on videos.
Yeah, and if they do, I don't get them.
Yeah, I mean, they're...
You know what, though?
So I get some questions, but they're pretty minor. They're not for this segment of the show, so...
One time on a previous episode, there was a voicemail from Rob from Georgia, and he asked if there was special features on the Halloween 6 box set edition, because there wasn't on the new release, and we never answered it. And yes, there are special features on that edition.
Yes, there is. I do know that. Alrighty, so are we getting into some knowledge, guys?
Yeah. I have a little topic. It shouldn't take up too much time. It's just something that I thought would be interesting to address, considering we never really talk about this. But group page etiquette. What do you guys feel about...
I'm sorry. It just sounded like right away. It was like, hey, guys, you might want to cool it down a little bit.
I think we already got rid of the... No, I was going to say the F word, but I think we already got rid of the... trying to think of a politically correct word. I was going to say homos, but that's not politically correct, even though I just said it.
Even though you just said it, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming from the guy that's in art school, too, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a lot of nerve, man.
Oh, we got rid of Schenkel and JPR. There we go. I guess that's a good way to say it. So,
talking to the dude who at least blew 2 people in his life.
Okay, back to the question.
Who did I blow?
You're on the show, right?
Yeah, man. And you guys can't see us at home, but we both have big smiles on our faces.
It's gone right over my head.
So, yeah, I forget who posed the question, but what do you guys feel about people sharing their YouTube videos, their podcasts, their reviews, their short films, their selling stuff? What do you guys feel about that going in not only our group, but
stuff kind of
other groups?
Personally, man, I don't really give a shit. I generally don't post a lot of my own videos and stuff in there unless it's for a specific reason or whatever. I don't go overboard.
Relevant to the conversation.
I haven't posted one of my 31 videos in there, and I never
only
really
post my reviews, my written stuff. I don't post my videos.
Yeah, like I'm not really one to self-promote over and over again. I just don't really care enough to do it. But for other people, if that's what you want to do and stuff, I mean, I have no problem with people posting their podcasts or videos or. I do have a little bit of problem sometimes when people are posting things to sell over and over again. That sometimes kind of, I don't know what it is, but I just
then
feel,
if shit goes south, then we look bad, and it's like,
I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. It's not like terrible or anything. I understand. But the thing is, there's like complete groups for that though too, just for trading, and it's not really a discussion group. It's just for, trading and stuff like that. But, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but yeah, for selling, obviously sunglasses and stuff. Yeah. We don't tolerate that, but, selling things. But if you want to promote your own podcast, I mean, our page is for our podcast. That's what we promote on there. If you have your own podcast and you want to promote it on there, feel free. I would like if you guys would, contribute to the page a little more than just self-promotion, but at the same time, it's not a big deal to me. If you want to post on that, I don't care. Not a big deal. Videos, written reviews like Jeremy does. I like seeing those things because it's activity. I feel like, people are still putting in, the time and, the effort to do it. So, and it gets conversation started and, I like that. So
yeah, when you're at it, make sure you call JP a fucking asshole. Thanks.
That's mandatory.
That is mandatory.
That is mandatory. So, all in all, I don't really have a problem. Like, I'm not much for toot my own whistle. I don't self-promote a lot. I don't really care too much about it, to be honest. But if you guys are down with it, then feel free to go ahead.
Well, I think one thing that you should start doing is...
You motherfucker, you just posted a 31 Day of Horror video 2 days ago. Fucking Moodz.
No, I didn't. That was Zach.
No, Moodz Fellet. How do you pronounce your last name? I don't even know. I just fucking know it's called Moodz. It's all love. Well, I think anyway. LOL. Comment section out of control. 31 Days of Horror, Day 20. Cave of the Living Dead, 1964. Image Entertainment.
That's exactly why I posted it, because I was posting it for the discussion to start about the discussion that was happening in the video.
But you still posted.
But he did say if it's relevant to what we were talking about or conversation or something.
Exactly. So this movie guy comment thing.
This is why I posted it, because I mean, this is very, very random. I mean, this is like day 21 or 22 or something. But the point is because the conversation is happening on my video.
I love JP. Stop talking smack, son. Movie guy ID 7 foot tall. He will literally fuck you. It's like the worst fucking.
Okay,
crap.
so this was the whole point of it. So I started posting because Zach and JP were having this conversation. Zach and JP were having this conversation with somebody that had left a comment. And neither of them realized that he was part of our Facebook group, but I did. That's funny. Right? So I posted the video without saying anything. I never responded to anything, and I just posted it for the point of continuing the conversation here. That's the only reason why that video got posted. So
yeah, but Moodz, I think you should not be so iffy on self-promotion, or even more importantly, the screeners that we get. Like we're trying to do a service to get as many people to see them as possible. In turn for them sending us the copies, we are, reviewing their film and getting it out into the world. So I think you should post those ones. Now, I mean, that's still up to you and stuff, but I honestly think you should post them in the group.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I never really think about it because I do the videos and then I just kind of forget about it. I don't know. I guess I was just kind of overlooking it a little bit too, though. And also thinking maybe, you'll grab those videos down the road and put them on the website and stuff, and that's
good
enough.
Which I do too, as well.
And so,
yeah, that is true.
It is what it is. So I mean, it is what it is, and the videos. I honestly like when posts create like a conversation and stuff. When someone asks a question, and like the whole group gets involved. Like if I post a review, and reviews aren't for everybody. I mean. I'll be honest, I don't really watch a lot of reviews on YouTube unless I've seen the video or seen the movie before. I think you're like that too, though, right?
Yep.
And yeah, so, I mean, I can see some of the movies that I'm posting. If the people aren't interested because they've never seen it, they don't want to watch it, I respect that. Because I do review a lot of films that I can see that people haven't seen them before. I mean, it makes perfect sense. So, I mean, at this point, I'm reviewing films I've never seen before, so it is what it is. But, I don't know, man. I never really thought of it like that. I guess it's kind of strange, but yeah, I think it's, when Jeremy posts his written reviews, for me, it just makes more sense. For some weird reason, it's like a written review. Just post it. I don't know. I just don't have a problem.
It also makes sense because it's not in a feed, right? Your YouTube videos are in a feed. So if people want to see them, they subscribe.
Man,
but
maybe
also,
that's what it is.
sometimes people miss things. So
I Don't Go in the Woods Alone review bombed.
Yeah, but your other one did really, really well. So
yeah, it did really well.
The Nightmare Weekend one?
Yeah.
But, something that I was going to say is I don't have a problem with it. That was a good review, by the way, Jeremy.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. I read all your reviews. I just never say anything. I don't know.
All right. Because I was like talking to the internship lady yesterday, and we were talking about the show and stuff, and she was looking at the website. She's like reading my review, and she's like, "Oh yeah, there's an error in your first sentence." I'm like, "Fuck." I always fucking bash assholes for having errors in their first sentences, and I have one in my first sentence, but
no way.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Which review was it?
My Don't Go in the Woods Alone review.
Oh, really? Okay, no, I haven't read that one yet. You just posted it, right? So yeah.
Who knows? I was like, yeah, my podcast is called 22 Shots of Moods and Horror. I go, yeah, I think me and my two friends should have fucking thought of a better name when we were coming up with our podcast, but now we're stuck with it.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But, back to the topic, I personally do not have a problem with anybody sharing anything as long as it does not become spammy, because people get annoyed at spam, including me. And I'm a little less annoyed than maybe some of my co-hosts. They get really annoyed if somebody, posts every single Blu-ray they pick up, and not in one photo, but individually.
Okay, to be honest though, I don't get mad when people post pickup videos or pictures. This is what I got in the mail today. I mean, in fact, you did it today. You had a great mail day, so you posted them. I respect that. That's cool. Because it starts conversations. But when someone posts a picture of a recent Blu-ray and that's it, like they don't. It's just like that's it. But it's like constant over and over again. It's like, okay, dude, are you trying to start a conversation or are you fucking just plain out showing off?
Imagine if Moodz took a picture of every individual pickup he grabbed.
Dude, I would have no friends in the world. People would be like, this guy is a fucking dick. All he does is post all fucking day.
Dick, just fucking annoying.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, and that's the point, right? I mean, you posting that, and like, it's like it's a bunch of films, and people are going to comment on it. If you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's redundant. It's lame. It's boring. Move on. The fuck out of here. So.
Yeah. But what I was saying also was, I have no beef with people promoting their podcast or promoting their YouTube videos, because what do we like? We like horror. Why is it a negative thing to get more of what we like? Why is it a negative thing to be like, all you people are here to listen to this podcast, like, maybe you would like my podcast. Like, you probably honestly would. And, half the people won't click on it. Another half will think that it's, a negative thing. But why is it a negative thing? Isn't that the point? Isn't it the point to share and love horror in all ways? Like, why you're a lot of times people are instantly negative on it before they even give the podcast or the video a shot. Just simply because it's not what they are there originally for, I
mean, that makes sense. So, I mean, people are, sometimes destined to judge before they give anything a shot. It's like, people that have been in our group page since the start expect to see post, our podcast, and maybe that's all they want to see. So when they see something else and they're like, well, that's foreign. They're like, well, this guy must be from Canada, fucking dick. And, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it becomes that unfamiliar ground that people are just not willing to step into.
Yeah.
And I understand where people are coming from, but I mean, for us, I think it's a little different. I mean, I know at least me and you, I know Jeremy's a little different sometimes, but when I see someone else post a podcast, I'm like, cool, man.
No.
I really don't give a shit.
I don't care about it if they contribute, like we were talking about. Like Dave's cool McCat. He's a cool motherfucker. I don't care.
That is one thing that does kind of irk me a little bit. Like, if you're gonna post your shit, I mean, just comment, contribute a little bit. If you're just gonna self promote and that's all you're gonna do, I mean,
No, I agree with that a little bit too.
At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be totally against it, but it would be nice. I mean, you're in this group, just contribute more than just self-promote. So, that's all we ask. It's pretty simple.
Because we have people that literally drop their podcast link and they're out every week when they get their podcast done or whatever. And those people don't ever comment. They don't ever say anything else but drop their link. And yeah, I'm not going to stop it because honestly, I don't care enough to. But, it isn't my favorite thing. Like Jeremy said, people like Dave Z, Alex Edwards, Jason Lloyd, those guys are constantly commenting on our stuff and going back and forth in conversations. And I'm a member of all their groups too, and I talk to them over there too. I mean, those guys are cool. They even listen to our show, which is really awesome. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have a lot of free time at work and stuff, and I do listen to a lot of podcasts. And honestly, I found podcasts because they were shared in another group. Like, there's certain podcasts I never would have found my way to on the internet. Like, there's no way I would have ever found it if I hadn't seen it somewhere. So how am I, you have to see it somewhere. So,
yeah.
I honestly don't have beef with it at all. I love it. In fact, I love the sharing. I love the contributions and everybody, helping each other out and talking about stuff, and even just the idea of sharing horror. Like, that's what we're doing. We're on social media to share our love for horror. So why on earth would I not want more people to share their love for horror?
Exactly. I mean, it all comes down to, preference once again. I hate using that because it might seem like a cop-out, but like the thing is, I'm not going to drop into someone's, private Facebook group and just drop my podcast in there and just fucking jimmy out. That's just not who I am. I just never would do that. I would never drop one of my videos in there and just, even if I was, an active member, someone else, I don't know. I'm weird like that. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do it that much either.
I'm not saying that other people can't do that, though. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's just not who I am.
Yeah, sometimes I'll drop our show over in Banana Laser's group or whatever, but honestly, it's like our episode 50 I dropped in there because it was a big, awesome moment, and I thought that like people would be interested in that topic. Like casual general horror fans, you see top 50 most influential horror films, like most people are going to be interested in that. But like our Madman show or something, I didn't post that one. I'll go really long without posting stuff because I'm just not that big into hitting all the groups and posting our stuff. I feel like it becomes spammy, even if only they're seeing it in that group. To me, it's like I see that I'm posting it a bunch of times. I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up and see what you guys thought, and I think we're all kind of on the same page. As long as you're not a dick, as long as you're not spamming, feel free to post whatever the hell you want, as long as it's horror-related, NFL-related. Yeah, don't be like
Scott, because he's a dick.
Yeah.
He's also Canadian.
Yeah, which automatically makes you a dick.
Oh. Yeah, apparently. So
I saw a Park reference for the night.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Yeah, another good knowledge topic right there. All right, so moving into the Coroner's Report of weird stats and morbid facts, courtesy of Rue Morgue. And this is coming from issue 160 from October 2015. So this is this month's issue. And I only grabbed this, or I'm reading one from here because it was sitting on my poker table and, it was close, and I'm pretty fucking lazy right now, so this is the best I got out of here. Yeah, good old Canadians, right?
Wait, before you start that, I was just looking at fucking episode 1, and we were talking about Friday the 13th in episode 1. That's Seriously? Crazy. We're still talking about it today, how it still never got it made.
59 fucking episodes later, and we're still talking about Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's insane.
That is crazy, man. All right, so the weird stat and morbid fact coming from this month's issue. Honestly, there isn't really a lot of good ones. There's a couple funny ones, but I'll read this one because this is, it's relatable to me and us. We've actually covered this film on the podcast, but all right. Gilda Radner was originally cast in Black Christmas, 1974, as Pie, the role that went to Andrea Martin, but had to abandon the film just before shooting because she got hired on she was hired on Saturday Night Live. That's interesting. Gilda Radner really was actually cast in fucking Black Christmas.
All the way in episode 3. See, I'm pulling a JP now and referencing every time we talk about a movie.
Call back.
Episode 3, Black Christmas. For the people that don't know who Gilda Radner was, she was like an original Saturday Night Live cast member, and she passed away from cancer. She was really funny, man, but that's really interesting that she was cast in Black Christmas. Very, very cool. But kind of sad at the same time. Yeah. But it was relatable, so. Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for Moodz Swingz. Yeah. All right, so moving along into the Triple W, the WWW portion of the show. What we watched this week.
Can't take a breath and say what you watch.
What did I watch? No, I fucking no. Can't do it.
Like JP now.
So who wants to start? Who wants to go?
Jeremy.
Ooh, so you want me to bash a movie right off the bat? You know what's coming. You know what I'm going to bash.
Bash away, my friend.
I'm going to be talking about an absolutely terrible, terrible, terrible film from the year 2015 that is a sequel to actually a film that I really, really like, and it actually made my top. It was actually my number 3 pick of the year 2 years ago in 2013. Yeah, and that is a film called All Hallows Eve 2. Oh boy, I didn't even know this film was coming out, to be completely honest, until I think Brandon posted in the Facebook page that he watched it, and he gave it like a 6 out of 10. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about when I was watching it? And then Dave C. said he gave it a 6 out of 10 also. And once again, I was thinking, what the fuck is this guy talking about? So, All Hallows Eve.
I can't believe how much we've name dropped on this show tonight.
So,
it fucking makes you laugh.
All Hallows Eve 2. Now this time, what was good about All Hallows Eve, the first one, we had 3 stories. They were all, 25 minutes each. They were good. They were original. The second story in the first film is But we have that really awesome last story with Art the Clown, and it's fucking awesome. This time they think it's a good idea to fit in fucking 9 shorts in 93 minutes.
New trend.
What the fuck are these people doing? Why? Why can't you just follow a fucking good idea with having just 3 stories? Why the fuck do you have to have 9 stories all directed by different people? It fucking boggles my mind because half the time you're going to have inconsistencies and crap. And most of the shorts in this film are crap. The wraparound is crap. The first segment, which we have this interesting, I think the first segment is definitely one of the most interesting segments of the film. We have this babysitter and this little boy. They're covering this pumpkin, and they eat the seeds in the pumpkin, and the pumpkin kills them basically from the inside out with the seeds, and some really interesting effects and things like that. The story's interesting. The second story, crap. Third story, crap. Fourth story, crap. Fifth story is like this girl in an elevator, and there's a twist. It's actually pretty good. That's probably the highlight of the film. 6 shorts, crap. 7 shorts, crap. The 8 shorts, crap. The 9 short, it's interesting. It was a YouTube video, like the first film with Art the Clown started out as a YouTube video. It's interesting, but it's not really that original now that film's like Unfriended and The Den has come out, so it's not really original and it's not good. And the wraparound segment, it's crap. Absolute crap. It's this girl finds a VHS tape on her front door steps during Halloween, and she puts it in, and all these shorts start to play. And the funny thing is, they're supposed to be on VHS, but they're fucking look like HD on the TV, and I'm going, what the fuck is this? Isn't this supposed to be a VHS tape? Why the hell is this looking like HD? What, did they fucking, like, insert a digital copy inside the VHS or something? I mean... It's just like, ugh.
That just totally fucking made me laugh. You know what? You just set the world record for using the word crap.
Oh, because
that many
it's
times
like,
in one fucking review.
Because it's like I don't get what Brandon and Dave was talking about with this one. Like there's a short in this film with like a little kid, and he's think that there's a monster under his bed, and I feel like I'm fucking watching a Are You Afraid of a Dark short that's in 9 minutes. That's a crappy Are You Afraid of a Dark short. But it's like, why is this in this movie? It doesn't make any sense. It's like a fucking PG horror film.
Well, does it... Okay, so this one, I don't know if I missed it, but did it have like a wraparound story to it?
It's crap. This woman finds a VHS tape on the front door, or the front steps.
Oh, okay. So
she puts it in,
so all the shorts, do they have that Halloween feel to it?
Nah. Only the first one and the second one.
So that's like a big fucking problem then.
Yeah.
You know, it's supposed to be all on Halloween and stuff, right? And it doesn't feel like Halloween?
Wait, there's 3. There's 3 stories that take place.
3 out of 9.
Yeah.
See, that's a huge problem.
And like,
because at least with Tales of Halloween, that JP can probably still admit, even though he doesn't like as much as I did, at least Tales from Halloween had, you know, a consistent Halloween feel to it.
But not even that. It says, but the synopsis. But the true danger is the pumpkin face killer that is using the tape to find his next villain. The pumpkin face killer isn't even in the fucking movie for longer than 2 seconds. Why the fuck is he on the cover of your film?
Pumpkin face killer?
But if he's only in the fucking movie for about
Melissa
8
McCarthy's
seconds.
in this movie too?
Oh my god.
Fuck.
It makes me so mad because I fucking love the first film so much, and then this comes out and I'm watching and it's like, okay, the first segment has really, really good effects. I have to give it that it has really solid effects, and then it just goes.
See, I'm like really not looking forward to seeing this now, because to be honest, like, you liked the first one way more than I did. I only liked the third segment really in the first one.
Was that the segment that actually was just a short film on
that was
like
the clown.
YouTube?
That was the clown one. I thought the third segment was really good. Like you said, the first one was okay. The second one in the first one is pretty much crap. But overall, I was, a little underwhelmed by it. But yeah, this one just sounds,
Image was like, we did good with the first film. That's just fucking.
It just sounds like the biggest problem is it doesn't have that whole Halloween feel to it. That's crazy.
Not even that, and fucking 7 out of the 9 shorts are bad.
That's fucked up.
It's like, just take the idea, having 3 shorts, and if one's bad, then okay, a quarter of your film or a third of your film's gonna suck. But at least you're not cramming fucking 9 stories into a 90-minute film.
You know what? We're seeing that more and more, Jeremy, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the long format anthology, the one where you have multiple, like a million directors with a million different shorts. Like, I don't like it. I didn't like it in Tales of Halloween. I don't like it in ABCs of Death. I like the concept of ABCs of Death, but I feel like that. Like,
okay, here I'll start.
You know what it is though? It's because these type of anthology films that have so many shorts, even if they are semi-good to good, they're still forgettable because there's so fucking many.
Or like,
ABCs of Death. Like, who can fucking remember what the hell Q was in ABCs of Death 2?
I can't. Quack.
I fucking
Quack was
can't
good.
remember for the hell.
Oh, I didn't see 2.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to go down the director's list here. So one director was the production secretary for Cowboys and Aliens. Oh yeah, a PA for Cowboys and Aliens made a film. Let's give them a round of applause, fucking assholes. Andreas Borghi. Let's see what film she's made. Short. Yep, doesn't seem like anything good. Yep, let's give her a short because why not? This guy, he had made all shorts. Nothing.
Now he's actually at the point of not even saying the names anymore. He's like, well, this guy.
Wait. We may have something interesting here. Let me see. Ooh, the cinematographer of Jack Frost made a short. Ooh. Oh, no, wait. He was a gaffer. Oh.
Well, that movie was beautiful, though.
Yeah, but he was a fucking electrician. The electrician for Jack Frost directed a fucking short. Why?
Hey, man, it's
it's filmmaking, man.
Those are just labels. Man. Who knows? They could be decent filmmakers. It just didn't work out.
Decent filmmakers for the first fucking time?
Whatever.
Ooh, a director who made Airplane vs. Volcano. Oh.
I don't even know how that's a competitive fight.
Yeah, it really isn't. Yeah. But also, Jack Frost, man, some good credits right there. Fuck.
Oh, and the director of Mischief Night from 2013.
Which one?
The one with the guy on the cover.
Which one?
Is that the Halloween? Is that the Halloween one? I can't remember which one's which. That movie's good.
Yeah. Oh wow, somebody who did something good. Let's see what short this guy did. One sec.
Because again, every year there's always multiple films with the same name.
Oh, he did the wraparound segment. Well, sorry, it's shit.
This is great.
Jesus.
I thought it was trash. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck Brandon and Dave C were talking about. There's the third short of the film. You could obviously tell that it's shot on a sound stage, and it's just laughable that you could see. It doesn't even look like they're outside, like they're on a fucking sound stage. And oh my god, the production value on some of the shorts are really, really low. Like I said, just don't watch it, please. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. God damn.
I love bashing films that are bad. Like, this one's just bad. Don't watch it.
You should just start making your videos like an hour long and put rant in the title and name yourself like Donatello.
Nah, I don't want to be like that. Just leave it to the nostalgia critic. He does a good job. And that's good with me. I'll leave that job to somebody else. But yeah, don't watch All Hallows Eve 2. And don't watch Contracted 2, which Contracted 2, I'm not going to rip a new asshole like this film because it was okay, but yeah, this one sucks.
Huh.
All right.
Interesting.
So, I guess I'm next.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I hope my people
I was looking forward to that shit, man.
Don't listen to this episode.
Well, I mean, you were polite. You kept saying the word crap.
Uh-huh.
At least that wouldn't get censored if this was actually on fucking I mean, everything I say is fuck because I have no vocabulary. So
no, it's not even that. It's like, why the hell are they hiring all these people who are like the gaffers on Jack Frost? What the fuck does he know about filmmaking?
Well, because it's quite obvious why. Because this movie had a budget of $17. So they had to disperse it somehow.
Like I said, I'm happy Image didn't send me this one to review because I don't think I would be getting any more of their movies anytime soon.
Do you get Image?
That happened to me one time.
I did before you Jewed me out and fucking stole the email.
See, it's funny that he's a Jew and he can say that. Yeah. Shit. I know what it's like to, do a review for a company and have the PR guy come at you and go, "What the fuck, dude? That was rude."
The movie's crap.
Oh,
yeah, I've been just dumping all my...
honest. I'm sorry for being fucking honest, but you know what? If you don't like my honesty, go fuck yourself.
Not Mr. Tony of the Dead. Ooh. Sorry.
Jesus, man. The name dropping in this episode. Woo. But yeah, man, I was really surprised when this guy PR'd me and he's like, dude, you can't, that's just not cool. I was like, what do you mean? You told me to fucking review the film, so I did.
People already hate me already, so whatever.
Fuck, whatever, man. Fucking people are so...
Yeah, but I just dump all my negative reviews on body bags because nobody sees them anyway.
Yeah, man. Nobody watches body bags. It's kind of funny. Like, there's like 700 subscribers and we get like fucking... If we get 50 views on a video, it's
I think I'm the least viewed person. I probably am.
Because you're like, yep, I'm going to review this movie.
I review movies with my crappy webcam at like 20 minutes before I need to go to sleep, and I never comment on them.
Yeah.
But, my turn. Breeders, 1986, courtesy of Olive Films. I watched this one just before the show, and I was curious to see if
that's some good preparation right there.
But Moodz, I know that you have because you mentioned it earlier in the show.
Yes,
this one opens up with a woman walking down the New York street when an old guy sort of attacks her, turns into like just gore, like mutation, and they find her and take her to the hospital, and she was raped. And they found some like black sludge in her, no semen though, and they're wondering what the hell's going on. And then it cuts to another girl, and she's at a photo shoot. The photographer leaves. She decides to strip naked, turn on some music in the studio, and do some naked yoga or something. And then she gets attacked by the photographer who comes back and starts morphing into gore. And she's all naked and shit, and she's like, oh my god. And then we follow another girl who gets naked and gets attacked, and then another girl who gets naked and gets attacked. And it turns out that there's some like aliens that are breeding with humans, and that is your story. Now, I know that it sounds terrible.
Yeah,
and for the most part, it is like a bad movie.
It is a bad movie.
But Moodz is absolutely right on the cheesiness. Like, the acting is borderline terrible in certain scenes. It's I actually felt bad towards the end of the film where you have all the girls who were raped are in like a tub of goo, and they're like just waving their hands, and the scene's pacing is so awful that they're just doing it like so long, and I'm like, I stared at one of their faces and I felt so bad because I was like, oh man, she doesn't even know how bad this looks. But there's some decent gore in it. There's literally like boobs every 10 minutes at least, like bush, gore, slime.
Well, that's always a plus.
Rubber suit man monsters, like obvious rubber suit guys in rubber suits. But honestly, dude, I actually enjoyed this one.
Kind of ironic, isn't it? Rubber suits for a film about breeding.
Yeah,
that's not funny.
Rubber suits, yeah.
You're striking out on that one.
Oh, fuck off.
Like, the gored up alien things when they're morphing from humans are actually really good. Like, the gore looks great. But when they're actually full, like, alien, it's awful. Because it's just like a guy in a suit. And you're like, as soon as you see it, you're like, yep, that's a fucking guy in a suit. Fucking guy in a suit. Fucking guy in a suit. And it's like so obvious.
Oh, it's just like a guy jerking off.
Yeah, I thought of that actually. I thought a guy's jerking off when I was watching this.
Kyle?
Yeah.
Oh,
So, but for like the cheesy entertainment value of boobs, slime, gore, cheesiness galore. I mean, honestly, like I had fun watching it. I really, really, truly did. And a lot of the boobs are not like plus boobs. They're just the kind of average boobs, but they're boobs nonetheless. So you can't complain too much.
But since JP doesn't factor in entertainment value into his reviews, 1.5 out of 10.
That is not true. That is not true.
You did say that once.
I never said I don't factor entertainment value. I said I don't heavily lean on entertainment value because it's more subjective than bad lighting.
Exceptions. I'm marking this moment right now. Breeders review, episode 59.
Yep.
Contradictory statements right here. Yep, Yeah, there we go.
Make sure you spell contradick, D-I-C-K.
Yeah.
Oh, I capitalized that part.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but no, Moodz is correct. I don't factor entertainment value heavily in my reviews, but I do factor it in. I factor everything in. I just don't lean on it like they do because I don't think you should. And
no, I mean, I don't necessarily. This is a good knowledge topic right here, so we should get into it, but
we'll do it next time.
I don't. Okay, we'll save it. Save it. Write it down.
But there are some positive things too. Like I like the atmosphere. Like it has that Chud basket case atmosphere. If you like things like Chud and basket case, you might like this. It's not as good as either of those, but it is along the lines. It's set in New York. There's this grimy ass bag lady down in like tunnels. There's like these tunnel type scenes where everything's dirty and stuff. I like that stuff. It's good. It has a grime atmosphere, which I like. And honestly, I didn't hate the music. And like I said, the gore is good. The gore is good. The suits are bad, but the gore is good. And there's a lot of boobs. And boobs can be entertaining, but they're also just awesome. So I'm gonna come in at a 6 on this one. It's a very I'm giving it a lot of points that I probably shouldn't, but I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
It's a passer. Passer.
I liked it, dude. I did like it. I thought it had enough there for a watch. I really do. I think that people could enjoy this one. You just can't expect too much out of it. But what
I really need to watch this one again, man.
I think on rewatch you'll actually like it. I think you will, because it's paced in terms of like something happening. Like there's so many woman attack rapes, like there's always something happening.
It's like, Moodz will like this. It has like rape in it and shit. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, but it's alien rape, so it's funny.
Oh, it's going back to this whole conversation that we had. I think it was last show.
Yeah,
we had this like half an hour conversation.
That was a good conversation.
6 out of 10. Yeah, I gotta check this out again, man. Because I'll just watch a DVD because I'm pretty sure I'm not getting the Blu-ray. So, but yeah, first up here for what I watched this week is a film from 2015, and don't get this, mixed up with the film called The Final Girls. This one right here is called Final Girl. And I have absolutely no idea. I just had some downtime last night, so I actually...
The one with Abigail Breslin, or is that another one?
This is the one with Abigail Breslin.
All right.
Yeah. This is a film from the foreign land of Canada. All filmed in Vancouver, actually. Didn't even know it until I was about 20 minutes in, and I was like, those woods look familiar. And sure as shit, it was actually filmed in Vancouver. It's very odd. I just wanted to know where it was filmed. But basically this film is about it starts out very odd. It starts out very odd. It's this guy, interviewing I think she's about a 10-year-old girl at the time. And he's basically kind of going through the motions. He's asking her a bunch of questions and stuff. Then it jumps to about 12 years later where he has basically kind of hired her on through these earlier interviews and trained her to become a killer. And the reason why he's done this is because his wife was murdered by these 4 assholes that have a game. And what these assholes do is that they abduct blonde-haired women And, well, they don't really abduct them. They actually take them out willingly. Anyways, what they do is they take them out to the woods, and they fuck with them, and then they hunt them. They give them a head start, and they go and hunt them, and they kill them. Anyways, this guy's wife was killed by these 4 people, so he hired on an assassin, trained her to kill, and, of course, he puts her into the line of fire. She gets into the situation, and then you have your movie. Okay, so... sounds fucking awesome, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It's like a really shit version of Gunwoman. My God, I was watching this movie going, yeah, this storyline seems very, very similar. And Gunwoman was fucking awesome. Yeah, this movie was shitty, man. The biggest problems with this movie for me was that, okay, it was the way it started. It feels like it just starts right into it. You know, there's no development of anything. You know, with where this girl came from, for one thing, she's in this room. Like it almost feels like an interrogation room. It's literally what it feels like. So I'm assuming that she was orphaned at one time or whatever, and then he just kind of takes her under his wing because she's been orphaned. So, you know, that's kind of unexplained. Now, the 4 assholes, they're all these rich preppy fucks that dress in suits when they kill and stuff. And there's not a lot of character development with them. It's just, that's what you're introduced to. They're obviously rich dickheads that just do whatever the fuck they want to do, like hunting blonde-haired women and killing them. And they brag about it. They're dicks. So, you know, there's not really a whole lot. There's no likable characters in this entire movie. It's really shitty, man, because you don't get to know even the main character, which is played by Abigail Breslin or whatever. And even the guy, Wes Bentley, the guy that hires her on, you don't really get to know a lot about him either. All you know is that he lost his wife, and there's no emotion there. All it is just this girl's going after these guys because he hired her on. So she doesn't even have a real connection to him or his wife or anything. And it just feels distant. The whole movie feels fucking distant. You know, to the actual specs of the film, it is shot very well. I will give him that. It's shot all at nighttime in the woods. The lighting is fantastic. And, you know, and that's about it. That's really about it. The music's not the greatest. The kills are not that great. What she does to them, which I won't give away unless you want to check this out after this review. You know, I felt like it was kind of a cop-out, and it felt too easy for the writing of the film to allow that to happen. It just felt like it kind of downplayed her training a little bit. That's all I'll say on that one. You know, this one just left me kind of going, it was terrible. You know, I was like, maybe because a little bit of me was comparing this to Gunwoman, where, you know, a guy takes a girl, trains her to be an assassin, blah, blah, blah. That one was done well. This one just felt hollow. It felt it felt shallow at times, and it had no emotion. You weren't connected to anything in the film. And it's a shame, because an idea like this, it's a very simple premise, but it can be executed properly, you know, for lack of a better word. But this one right here, like I said, it is shot very well. I will give him that. And it's also acted pretty decent too, I will say, even though pretty much all the characters in the film you don't really care for, it's actually acted pretty well. But that's really about it, man. Really about it. I hadn't really heard much about this one. I only picked it up because it was from 2015. I was like, hey, it might be a gem. It's not a gem. Fuck this Canadian film. Basically don't see it. 3.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
Not good. Not good.
All right.
So apparently this is the night of bashing films?
Oh yeah, just wait till my segment.
Hey, I like mine.
All right. Ready? Segment time? Let's go. All right.
But I will add, though, Abigail, she's pretty cute. So that's kind of a plus.
Fucking
right.
Okay.
Cutest plus.
Okay, so this is a brand new segment I'm calling This Movie Stinks More Than JP's Mexican Asshole.
So it is a avoid of the week.
No, it is This Movie Smells More Than JP's Mexican Asshole.
Okay.
It's my new segment.
It is an avoid of the week.
No, it is This Movie Stinks More Than JP's Mexican Asshole.
You like to do that. You take things that already exist and try to make them your own.
Uh-huh, like Horror 101 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. It's coming up next week. All right. This movie is called, I did a review, we just talked about it, but I want to talk about it on here just to talk about my problems that I think the film has and listen to your Moodz' opinion, because I know he's seen this film. It's called Nightmare Weekend from the year 1985, released by Vinegar Syndrome on their exploitation TV line. Now, this movie has an interesting history. I know that it really hasn't had a good release, according to what Moodz you have. What have you told me, correct?
Yeah, it's got it's one of the films that are in, one of those tin trauma box sets, whatever. Okay. Yeah, it's like a VHS transfer. So. Okay,
so once again, Vinegar Syndrome picking up these really, really horrendously terrible pieces of shit movies and cleaning them up. So this film's French production, came over here to the United States in 1984 in Florida. Had a script written in French, translated to English. There was some pretty bad translation issues between the French and English scripts, and you could obviously see that in the film. So, film started shooting, and the film basically follows this scientist, comes up with this idea of creating these silver balls that are similar to Phantasm. I didn't say this in my review, but I should have. The way that the balls are in this movie are silver, they're round, they're very similar to Phantasm. It's like pretty much ripping off Phantasm.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I should have said it in my review. So he creates this metal ball that when people who are mentally deranged ingests it, it changes their behavior. So we get his mad sidekick scientist friend who's a lady, and she decides to sabotage his plan by using these silver balls that changes people's emotions for bad, and she sets up this whole plan about how she's going to sell this experiment on the black market to this businessman. So she gets these 3 teenagers to go to this hotel one weekend, thinking they're going to get a weekend away, but instead they're going to get this treatment, be the experiment of this silver ball. And it's just a mess of a story. Between the film, there's a whole bunch of unnecessary sex scenes that are really, really pointless and really add nothing to the narrative. Don't get me wrong. I'm all up for some boobs and some bush, but when it's every 5 minutes,
when they're on a man,
yeah, every 5 minutes when someone's getting fucked and there's boobs, it's like, okay, I get it. People are having sex all the time. Where is the blood that I paid for? Well, in this sense, it got sent to me. Where's the blood that I fucking want to see? Why are these people having sex?
You kind of slipped that in there.
What?
That was good. Oh, that was sent to me.
Well, I don't want to fucking say that I bought it, because that's not true. I want to be honest.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
I want to be honest to the 22 Chars Peeps out there. Yo, 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 as JP likes to say. So...
Yeah.
So... Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I fucked it right up there, didn't I?
No, that's alright. So, lots of sex. No gore until the last 5 minutes of the film. Then we get to these last 5 minutes of the climax. I talked about in my review that it starts to pick up a little bit. There's some more guts, some more blood. But between that and the opening shot, there is no blood and no guts throughout the entire film. There's one other kill in the film besides the ending. So it's really not that much of a horror film. It's basically just a really badly dubbed in the same language French production that has a lot of sex and nudity, and it's just really not a good film. It's actually a terrible film. So, just the special features alone in this Vinegar Syndrome set, I guess, kind of dictates a purchase. It's got a new segment on here with the makeup artist, which is pointless because there's really no effects in this movie, but there's a interview with him. And then there's an interview with, I think it's the director. And then there is a feature where you see, well, one other thing I forgot to mention about this release is it's the first time the movie's been uncut or released here in the States, uncut, I think, at least. So there's a feature on here that shows the difference between the R-rated version and this uncut version, which is basically just more muff and more boobs. Because there's no blood to take out, so what's the point? So they just...
God, now I gotta get this just because of the more muff?
More muff and more boob. Have you seen this movie, Moodz?
Yeah?
The scene in the bar when they're fucking on the pinball machine, that scene's a lot longer and there's more muffin stuff that wasn't in the R-rated version.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's some trailers and subtitles, which I love how subtitles is in English. It should just say English JP subtitles.
Yeah, Olive doesn't fucking put subtitles on their discs. It drives me insane.
Oh, man. Now they're really not going to send us anything.
Lazy. Lazy.
So overall, the addition of this film is really nice. Nightmare Weekend did a good job. Vinegar Syndrome did a really good job cleaning it up. It's a DVD Blu-ray combo pack, reversible cover art, really good transfer. Like I said, the sound's really shitty because it's dubbed in English by different actors. And it's like, why the fuck did they do this? It's pointless, but I know why, because they didn't have a fucking sound guy who knew what he was doing. But anyway, Nightmare Weekend, give this film a 3 out of 10. And that is this movie stinks more than JP's Mexican asshole.
It's an avoid of the week.
See, I see the humor in it. It's funny. You know, it probably smells like burritos.
Yeah, or
and other stereotypical foods like refried beans.
No. It smells like lasagna because sex.
Yeah. Shit. 3. So we have a 3.5 out of 10, and we have a 3 out of 10.
2 3s.
Oh, 2 3s and a 3.5. Holy fuck, we're just shitting on films tonight.
Yeah, you guys are. So, my turn. My segment this week, I'm doing a Horror 101. This is a segment in which I review a documentary, sometimes about a film, sometimes about something else. And this time it's about something else. So this one is called The Nightmare from 2015. This one has got a lot of interesting reviews. I feel like a lot of people who see it kind of don't get it, or they're just put off by the way that it's done. So it follows 8 people who suffer from sleep paralysis, which is a form of, I guess, awakeness, but you're paralyzed while you're not really sleeping. You're awake and you can't move and you hear things and you see things and you hallucinate, and there's scary shit that happens to you. And it's a widely debated topic, whether it's scientific or not. And there's different evidence that point to it being a real thing and evidence that points to it not being a real thing, it being in someone's head. And this doesn't really go into that, which I was a little disappointed, because I thought if they had like an actual expert or a couple experts on there to, pepper into this story would have been pretty cool. But the way that this is done is they interview people, and then as they're telling the story, it's reenacted with actors. So it's kind of your Unsolved Mysteries approach. And I haven't really seen that done, because at its core, this is a horror movie. Like it's a scary movie, but it's also part documentary. And I thought it was a really nifty way to kind of tell the story of sleep paralysis. And really all it is you're hearing each person's experience with sleep paralysis. And some of them are really terrifying if you can put yourself into that position. Me not being somebody who suffers from it, I can only imagine. But I think that the people who really are saying that this is one of the scariest movies, because people are saying that, are people who have some form of sleep paralysis or think they have some form of sleep paralysis. Because throughout my entire high school life, I had one friend who constantly told me about his sleep paralysis, and this was before it was a hot topic. He was reading books on it and shit, and he was telling me I can't move, I wake up and I can't move, I try, I pull, I can't move, and I see demons or whatever, and it could be bullshit, could be not.
JG's asshole.
I try that would be a scary sight, huh?
Especially since there's Italian and Jewish both in it.
He just sees a big bowl of salsa.
The salsa's attacking me. There's too much chunks in the salsa. No.
I mean, honestly, some of these stories are pretty crazy. One dude would have a reoccurring nightmare. It's not really a nightmare because you're awake. It's different than a nightmare. You're awake and you can't move. You're paralyzed. And he would have this old man constantly screaming at him, "Do not jack off on your mother's sheets." And that, like, I swear that sounds crazy, and it even sounds more crazy when this guy tells the story. But it's frightening. It's like, wow, what the fuck? Where do you come up with that at? And then there's also somebody who has their first memory of sleep paralysis when they were in the crib as a baby, and there were two like shadow men over him. And honestly, I feel like if they were just telling these stories, they could set up something interesting in your mind, but it really is effective how they recreated and reenacted these stories that you couldn't really show, right? I mean, it's obviously a case of it's more scary in your head, but I was really surprised at how effective they were able to reenact these scenes that you would think you wouldn't be able to reenact. So I really like that about it. Overall, I dug this documentary. I do feel like it dragged a little bit at times because some of the stories were just not that interesting or ran on too long. Like I said, spicing it up with a expert on the subject would have been golden, because then you would have had like the whole hoax thing on it, or the whole, is this real? And to debate that would have been cool. But at its core, this is a horror movie hybrid documentary. It's an interesting idea. I haven't seen it done before that I could really think of, and I really give him props for doing that. This is also the same guy who directed the Room 237, The Shining documentary. The what?
Not gonna watch it. That movie definitely might actually get into this movie stinks more than JP's Mexican ass.
Why? This doesn't sound interesting to you?
I've heard okay things about it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a cool documentary. I liked it. Oddly enough, Brandon didn't really care for it.
Well, that figures. He fucking liked all Hallows Eve too.
I think Brandon's confusing.
He is. But Moodz, do you remember earlier in the show when you said I couldn't remember what Q was for in ABC's of Death 2? Remember when you said that? Well, this guy directed Q from ABC's of Death 2. And it is Questionnaire from ABC's of Death 2.
The fuck? Is that not weird and random?
Yep.
Holy shit, man. Wow. That is weird.
That's how we do it here on the 22 Shots
really
podcast.
Fucking weird, man.
We do things big.
Oh, this is the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast. Get the name right, JP. God. CEOs going around and taking the easy
just
route.
call it the 22 Shots, man. So it's all good. It's all
just fucking busting
good.
It's all right.
But overall,
6 more episodes to review.
Pretty solid film. I enjoyed it. 7 out of 10.
Wow. Interesting. As soon as you said it was directed by the same guy that did Room 237, I was like, okay, that's interesting.
I gotta see this. Room 237.
Oh, it's entertaining as shit, man, because like some of the no, man, some of the, I mean, if you're looking too hard into it and just taking what they're saying too serious, yeah, it can be probably a little too much.
But I don't think that's the point of the film, though. From what I hear, it's not. But
that's the thing. You kind of take these outrageous ideas that these people have about the film and roll with it, and it's entertaining, man.
It's like any conspiracy theory documentary.
It really is. It's amazing the thought that went into some of these theories about The Shining. Like, it really is. And that's what kind of intrigues me and kind of keeps me going when you're watching the film, because it's like, what am I going to hear next? And it's one of those type deals. I actually kind of enjoyed it, to be honest, but I know Jeremy didn't, but it is what it is. It was enjoyable. I was just like, because I'm not taking it serious. I'm going, I just want to hear something else. But man, honestly, some of the theories just blew my mind. I was like, fuck, that's crazy. But yeah. All right. So yeah, I don't really have a segment this week, so it's going to be pick of the week, I guess. And I'm only doing this one because, it kind of becomes my pick of the week through default, because I just want to review something I haven't done on the 31 days, and hence Final Girl. Yeah, I didn't review this movie. I just randomly watched this throughout the week. So
is this pick of the week worthy?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm going to give it a pretty, I don't know, I guess.
I'm not feeling confident.
Let the guy fucking talk, damn it.
Says you.
Well, I mean, it depends what type of week it is. I mean, if I had another film like Final Girl, this is definitely the pick of the week, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, so this one's from 2014 and it's called Creep. I just checked this one out on Netflix. I was, you know, at home and I obviously don't have a copy of it. So I checked it out on Netflix and because I'd heard pretty good things about it. And I was intrigued because I kind of like the idea of it. It's basically about a guy that answers a Craigslist ad. And, you know, basically the job is to show up at this guy's house with a video camera and with 8 hours of his time. And all he has to do is just film this guy talking into the camera because he wants to make kind of like a farewell letter or video to his unborn son. Because he's just found out that, you know, he is terminally ill. He's dying and he doesn't really have, and he's going to die before his son is born. So he wants his son to, you know, see him. So he wants to, you know, record some goodbye things and, you know, just weirdness and things. So this guy shows up there, starts videotaping. And of course, things aren't exactly what they seem to be, you know, and I'll just leave it at that because the film is pretty short. You know, it runs around 80 minutes, I believe. And, it's one of those type of films. It's obviously found footage, you know, it's got like two guys in the film. You know, it's got the guy Joseph, which is I guess the antagonist in this film. And then you got Aaron, who is the guy that shows up with the camera. He's the photographer and he's actually the director of the film too, which is kind of interesting. So this is like that type of low budget type film. But I think they did a pretty good job with this story because it went in a place where I wasn't quite expecting it to go. I was expecting it to kind of stay where it was, but it doesn't, you know, it actually shifts settings and then kind of, you know, spreads out from there. So that was a little surprising to me because I was expecting it to be kind of like one of those one setting films and just have like a very generic kind of, you know, okay, well, this guy's here, this guy's going to fuck him up. And then, you know, that's what's going to happen kind of thing. It's not really what happens. And, you know, what really sells this film is the Joseph in the film, the guy that's being filmed, you know, telling his story to his kids and stuff, his unborn children. This guy's creepy as fuck, man. I will totally admit, man, he does a great job of just being weird and creepy and fucking so odd in the things that he wants to do and stuff. You know, these type of films aren't for everybody. You know, it's found footage, but it's not like that real crazy shaking camera found footage because this is supposed to be like a professional thing. He's showing up with a camera and he's filming. You know, it's just a lot of kind of like one-on-one conversations and stuff that really do work. There are some scenes where they're outside and they're going through the woods and stuff like that that are relevant to, you know, the third act in the film. Yeah, this is one that's really kind of hard to talk about. There's not really a lot to say about it because, like I said, there's two characters, and I think they both did a great job in the film, and I really liked the direction of it. I kind of like how it went. It was creepy. It was unexpected a little bit, and it was just kind of a downbeat, you know, fun, interestingly odd found footage film that kind of came out of nowhere for me because, like I always say, found footage films are hit and miss. You never know what you're going to get with them. And this is a perfect example of a film that I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I really enjoyed it. And, you know, I'm not going to say that's the reason why, because I didn't know anything about it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really like the premise. It's simple, but it worked. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's pretty effective for what it is. And I can see people not really digging it maybe. But I think the third act it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. So check out Creep. It says 2014. It came out in the US in 2015. So consider a 2015 film. Not the most, you know, amazing title for a film. I think I've seen about 41 films with the title Creep before.
Not 97?
Not 97, 41 this time. And yeah, Creep. But check it out because it is kind of creepy. So
would you give it a 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10.
Cool. So no amazing films this week, but
no,
we had some solid and some not so solid.
Yeah, for the most part, it was, you know, it is what it is, right?
We had solid and we had runny.
Yeah, I guess films that smell like your asshole could be
solid and runny.
runny. So.
Oh, you talking about that Avoid of the Week you did?
Oh, fuck you.
if I had have reviewed, some of the films that I did on the 31 series, I think I had a little more solid ones.
Yeah, I forgot to mention quickly in my All Hallows Eve 2 review, there's actually some shots in the wraparound story that would actually follow the Schenkel-Inkel criteria. I want to throw that out there.
Really?
And it's really funny because I actually wrote that down that I wanted to say that.
You know when you say Schenkel-Angle, you say ankle? Ankle?
I know I say it. That's part of the funny joke.
If you say so.
Sounds so confused. That's not funny, man. That's not funny.
You know what?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ah, shit. All right.
Speaking of that, where's that kid been?
I think Schenkel has been on the podcast more than you, Jeremy.
Yeah? Not funny, but okay.
Oh, shit.
So, featured review, boys. Featured reviews with a S. With a Z, motherfucker.
Alrighty, so getting into the featured reviews of the week. And for this week, we are going to be talking about season 1 of Tales from the Crypt. The infamous HBO series that was fucking amazing. Ran for 7 seasons. And yeah, awesome stuff. I do want to give a disclaimer here.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
I want to give a disclaimer right off the top here. When we're doing, reviews like this, because they are short episodes, they're like 30 minutes a piece or 28 minutes a piece or whatever, we get into spoiler territory. So these episodes may be spoiled, they may not be spoiled, but this is an alert, that they might be spoiled because they're hard to talk about without spoiling. So, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Tales from the Crypt season 1.
1989.
From 1989, yeah. The season that started it all.
Very short.
Very short, yeah. There was only 6 episodes in the Tales from the Crypt season. Which
is kind of a standard now for pilot seasons. But back then it really wasn't, I don't think.
I think it was only on for like June 10th, the 14th, the 21th, and the 28th. So the first season was only like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because it looks like the first 3 episodes aired in one day.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think episode 2 aired in June.
Yeah.
That is so crazy, actually.
Yeah.
It seems like that was like the tradition for every season. They would have 3 episodes start each season on the same day.
These obviously are based off of the classic EC comics from, the 50s, I believe?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, but oddly enough, a lot of them were not actually took from Tales from the Crypt. A lot of them came from Vault of Horror or suspense stories or whatever, which I've always found really interesting.
So episode 1 is entitled The Man Who Was Death, directed by Walter Hill. Walter Hill is actually an interesting director because this is pretty much the first horror-related stuff he had done in his career, and he'd been directing for, 15 years prior.
He made Supernova.
Yeah, Supernova. But no, this guy, he directed The Warriors.
Yeah.
And he directed Southern Comfort. He directed 48 Hours. Yep. Brewster's Millions, which is fun. Red Heat. So he directed another 48 Hours. He directed a lot of films previously to doing these horror episodes. He did a few, actually.
He did 3.
Throughout the series. And then, of course, in 92, right after he did Trespass, which me and JP can,
fucking love me some Trespass, dude.
Yeah.
One of my favorite non-horror movies.
Yeah, so he did some really interesting films, and then he just kind of did Tales from the Crypt. But I always thought the filmography leading into this was interesting. So, but yeah, episode 1. Somebody want to throw down a synopsis on that one right there?
Prison executioner is laid off from his job and begins administrating. Is that how you say it, JP?
Good, dude. You're doing fine.
All right, administrating his own justice to acquitted murder suspects.
Vigilante style, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Has a shocker type of a feel to it.
Yeah. I I love the whole idea. I love the whole play on the executioner that doesn't feel bad. He likes to kill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like that idea right there.
Yeah, there's even a line
doesn't-
of dialogue where he says, you know, they say that the electricity burns the brain and they don't feel a thing. I'd hate to think that was true.
Exactly. That's great that you quoted that, because I like this whole idea. He just shows no remorse. He's doing the job like how you should be doing the job, but he goes a little further.
Yeah, I think the first real thing of note is just the style that this short was done in, this episode, where he talks to the camera. He has a lot of narration.
Third wall.
He's breaking the fourth wall.
Fourth wall.
Yeah, Jeremy, fourth wall.
Jeremy, he's going to
You're
school
the film
for $10
school
million a fucking year, and then I'm correcting him on the
Fucking
fourth
1:30 in the morning. Cut me a break.
So yeah, exactly.
I was in
he's
class
breaking the
all
fourth.
day, man.
I'm a big fan of the breaking the fourth. For a narrative like this, it's like it just, I don't know. I think it really does work. I think
it does in this story for sure.
It does.
I mean,
because he's like a likable character, so it works.
He's actually in Trespass.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, which is kind of funny, right?
Yeah. William Sadler.
Yes, William Sadler.
He has that southern accent. I don't know, like maybe Alabama or something. I don't really know what state it would be, but I mean, dude, like what makes this to me is his dialogue. Just he goes into these like deep rooted, like meaningful speeches, and I'm just like, wow, like this guy is the shit. Like he goes into that thing where he's like, junkies. I respect junkies because they'll do anything just to shoot a little death into their arm. They want to get close as they can to death and just touch it a little bit. And he's like, all the same junkies are shit. And it's just like, yeah.
So basically what happens with his character is that he's this state executioner, and they abolished the death penalty in his state.
Yeah.
So he eventually loses his job because, he even asked for his old job back, and they said, well, your job has already been taken because you trained the guy to replace you. There's no job. So he's basically out on the street. And
he asked for seniority. Like, he's like, doesn't seniority matter? Like, can't you guys just put him somewhere else? And they're like, well, everybody in the, death row kind of knows what you've been doing to all the friends. So I don't think it'd be a good idea to keep you around. He's like, trust me, I could handle them. He's just like, he's in control. Like he's the master of his own destiny, and he really thinks everything through. You can see him like just think, and when he's like at the bar with that line about, bars were pretty much invented for people to talk about their problems and stuff. Like,
I love that scene in the bar. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So as Moodz was saying, he has to. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he after he loses his job, he basically just turns into like a freelance killer.
Yeah.
He just kind of takes matters into his own hands. He even takes the time to go to court cases, and it's not as extreme as Dexter. He doesn't look into all the facts because it's like a 28-minute episode.
Yeah.
But he's like, this person got off. He's like, and I know that they're guilty, so I'm going to go and fucking kill them. So this is kind of like a prequel to Dexter in a way. It's like,
yeah,
it's kind of interesting. But I like that whole idea, man. I like the whole. I don't know. The whole premise is good. It's fun.
There are some things in these type of episodes that I always find like odd, like the fact that it is a little over the top. Like the one guy, the biker, who's like gets off on a technicality, and he like stands up and he's like, "Oh fuck yeah," or whatever, and it's like, dude, like you might want to lower it down a little bit, like.
I mean, that's purely entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
but then he even grabs, like he assaults the victim's family that he, it's just like, okay, dude, I think you'd be back in jail already.
Exactly. The interesting thing about this episode is that to me, it kind of turns into almost like a slasher flick. You got this guy running around the streets and he's taking out people one by one, and it's essentially a short slasher flick. We know who the killer is, so it's not a mystery or anything. It's like, but he's just doing he's doing the deed.
What do you guys think about the ending?
Well, it ends very typically in how these end with, somebody getting their just desserts. And typically it happens in a similar way to where they was whatever they was doing bad in the first place. And I mean, it's completely bookended. Like it's a perfect bookend, right?
Mm-hmm. But I thought the kills in here were pretty funny, you know?
Yeah. See, I remember when I first watched this episode, I was like, this is Tales from the Crypt right here. Like, it was an episode that made a statement. Like, we're going to have, you know, this guy in a titty bar, and there's going to be boobs everywhere, and this is HBO, and we're going to be able to do stuff, and, boobs. You know, he's going to kill these people, and
that's pretty much
we're going to
exactly
break the fourth wall,
thinking.
and we're going to, you know, there's no boundaries to what we're going to do here. And I love that. I love that is the first episode.
No, I love that too, man. I love that about this first episode, breaking the fourth wall, because it's, you know, it's that character telling you exactly what this, not only what this episode is about, but what the whole entire show is about. Yeah. You know, it's we're going to do this, and we're going to come at you raw. And this is what we're going to do. And I really like that. It just, like you said, it was a big statement. And I think it worked, man.
Middle finger to society.
And the,
you know, it's effective. It's effective, man.
Yeah.
It really
it's a
is.
very well written episode in terms of dialogue too. Like the dialogue is great all throughout the entire episode. Like the dialogue is these interesting little tidbits on society. And I honestly think it almost is poetic. Like, I love the dialogue in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's definitely a good first episode to start off on. I think, like we just said, it really sets the mood to what's to come later on down the road.
Yeah, I mean, there is some, you know, clever but obvious lines in the film, or in the short. You know, it's like
the film.
Yeah, you know, in the short film, you know, earlier in the episode, they talk about like how the electric chair is the voice of death. You know, and just things like that. And like, you know, the end of the episode when it's like death has a funny way of redemption, doesn't it?
It also has interesting music.
Like,
it's almost like carnival themed.
Yeah, it does. You know, that is weird. Yeah.
And a lot of like real, like odd, like close-up-y, like when they're dragging the guy down the hall and it's like a bobbling like type of thing. I've always found that, and it's like a close-up. I've always found those scenes to be like uncomfortable because of how tight quarters they are in. If you watch it back, like they're in like they're squeezing through this little area, walking the guy down the line.
Interesting.
Yeah, I dig it though, man. I dig the whole feel of it.
Yeah,
you know,
awesome.
It's a really good episode. So ratings, I guess.
Are we rating these?
Oh no, we're just gonna give the order at the end.
Yeah, we'll do a ranking at the end. I don't really feel comfortable rating these shorts because I feel like all my ratings would be the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Really? Huh? Mine aren't.
not like the same, but in the same, like, you know, couple points of just like like 0.5s and stuff.
Okay.
So
all right. So
honestly, I don't feel like putting them on the website.
No, like I wasn't expecting, you know, that type of deal.
We'll rate the season if you want. The season as a whole, and then I'll put the season on the website.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we can do that. Episode 2 is called "And All Through the House," directed by Robert Zemeckis.
So you're tired too, you asshole.
I'm terrible at names, though. This is basically a remake of the short that's in the original Tales from the Crypt film. It's basically the same thing. We all know who Robert Zemeckis is.
I've never seen the original.
You've never seen the original before?
No.
Holy shit. Of course, Robert directed shit, man. Just name some fucking Used Cars, Jeremy's favorite fucking comedy of all time.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future trilogy.
The best trilogy ever made.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Death Becomes Her, another Scream Factory release that's coming out.
Yep.
The classic Forrest Gump.
And of course, this one was actually wrote by Fred Decker, who did Night of the Creeps and Monster Squad.
That's right.
And RoboCop 3.
Yeah. and RoboCop 3. Oh my god, RoboCop 3 is bad.
My professor made RoboCop the TV series.
Nice.
So what's this one about?
A greedy woman makes the mistake of murdering her husband while an escaped mental patient dressed in a Santa Claus outfit is on the loose.
Definitely the most recognizable episode.
Yeah, this is a lot of people's favorite episode.
Yeah, this one sticks out because it's a holiday themed one. Mm-hmm. You know, anything Christmas or holiday themed, I think always seems to stick out. I enjoy this episode, you know, for those reasons. I won't lie. You know, like I'm a really, really huge fan. Everyone knows of, you know, holiday related horror films and stuff. This one is good, but honestly, I really enjoy I love the killer in this film.
He's fucking insane,
dude. I just love the look of him. It's so fucking.
The fact that he like his teeth are missing and they're dirty. It's like he's fucking.
Doesn't
insane.
he just creep you out? It's like fucking awesome.
I wish I got that Fright Rag shirt that.
Yeah,
they had of him.
This is honestly an episode that actually scared me as a child. Like, I watched this show when I was 3-4 years old, and I remember it quite well. I remember watching it at my uncle's house all the time, and this was an episode that just, it really did terrify me as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it though. I mean, especially if you watch the episode right from the start. You know, you got the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, I mean, when
he's
that alone
outfit.
was one of the scariest things ever. I swear to God, Crypt Keeper scared me more than anything as a kid.
Fucking looks so creepy in that Santa outfit, man. This looks awful. It's like what the fuck am I looking at, man? It's awesome, so good.
Yeah,
but yeah, you know, well, that sucks that you haven't seen the original one because I wanted to, you know, kind of compare the two. Oh, really? Shit.
I was gonna say like.
They're both
not
good.
Not really that much to say about this one, besides it's a slasher.
Well, it's a slasher. It's a condensed slasher. It's like the final part of it. It's the third act of a slasher film, and
it basically is.
I think that you add the kid in there, and it definitely adds to the suspense. And that was a great idea. You know, if it was just the woman, not as effective.
Yeah, exactly.
It's entertaining as fuck, though.
Yeah, it is, and. You know what? The one scene that I always think of when I think of this short is when she's in the closet and she was looking for the gun earlier, and the camera is up so high, obviously she can't see up there, and it's pointed at the window, and you just see the gun sitting on the thing, and she has no idea that it's there, and she's in the closet with the gun. Yeah. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
But,
love the the fucking fire poker in the head.
Yeah. That's a bit of comedy there. That's a bit of comedic now.
It is, but it's
like,
you know, it works. I mean, really, it is comedic totally because the killer himself is just like so over the top, ridiculously scary that it's almost funny.
Shit, and he just keeps coming back. It's just funny.
But it's completely unnoticeable. Like if you're a kid watching this, you will never pick up on any of the comedy.
No, it's fucking terrifying. It's, you know, Santa Claus, you know, and shit. But
and it's just that classic tale, right? The killer has escaped from a mental asylum nearby, and it's that when you first hear it on the radio, and you know, it's like, oh shit.
It's the setting that's done so well in this, though, too. I mean, even though
it has a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, it does, man. It has that Christmas atmosphere like no tomorrow. Like the music is all Christmas. It's snowing heavy the whole time, which is perfect. It never lets up. I mean, even though the snow is fake as hell in it, and it's shot on a soundstage, you can totally tell. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You know, like these are things that we're going to notice, but it's just fantastic. It has such a great feel to it. But, you know, when I do watch this, it does kind of bug me. I wish they had just, you know, put the temperature machines in there or something so they had some, you know, breath, you know, come out of them, because if it's snowing like that.
There's a little bit of it, though, isn't there? Like when she's outside?
No, I don't think so, man. I was watching for it purposely and I couldn't see it, and I was like, fuck, that's so annoying. Just, you know. I mean, we all live in snowy areas and shit like that, so, I mean.
Say so.
You know, fuck, man, we know. But, you know, it's just little things like that. But
I love the gleaming fireplace and stuff like that, though. That's the type of stuff that adds Christmas atmosphere to me, too. I just love it. But at the end of the day, there's not much you can actually say about this one because it is just a slasher. It's done really well, though.
Exactly. I mean, there's some really good moments, though, like, you know, when he's when he's looking through the window and stuff. And
oh, yeah.
You know, just those kind of subtle moments that are just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, jeez. But I think one of the coolest moments, though, is when she looks
and she's kind of walking by and she kind of looks out the window and she notices that he's not laying there.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a great moment. You're just like, but you know, like you kind of know that something's going to happen and
shit's going to go down.
And then it happens. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's awesome.
Yeah. You know what though? Like,
it's just shot well. It's directed well because it kind of does it in passing, you know?
Yeah.
But it's effective.
I think the key thing that works in like the actual story is I already mentioned the kid, but 2, like she had just done something bad. She had just killed her husband, so she can't call the cops. She can't do anything. She's kind of stuck, you know? And it adds to an interesting dynamic. And of course, you know, this one actually ends not in a Just Desserts type way, actually, a little bit, you know?
But, you know, it's the whole setup, though. It's like, you know, the woman does something bad, and, you know, like, it's kind of like that what goes around comes around theme.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, you know, if you're naughty throughout the year, you know, something bad's going to happen, you know?
That's a pretty interesting reference type thing.
You know, it's exactly what it is. Like, she kills her husband, you know, and then she gets attacked by Santa, kind of thing. So, I mean, there's some underlying things happening there too. So, but kind of cool, man. Kind of cool.
Yep.
It's basic, but it's cool. So, I fucking love this episode. I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on to episode 3, which is called Dig That Cat. He's Real Gone. Directed by Richard Donner.
Who's done like 1.5 million things.
Richard
79
Donner.
director credits.
The Goonies.
Superman 1 and kind of 2.
Yeah, Richard Donner directed The Goonies, which is
Lethal Weapon.
You know, my all-time favorite
me too.
non-horror film. I love The Goonies. I actually rewatched The Goonies last week with the kid. He loved it.
Good.
He loved it. He loved. Yeah. It was so funny the part where Chunk, you know, the scene in the beginning of the film where Chunk's watching the milkshake and pizza on the window.
My favorite part of the movie.
Well, and when he goes shit,
yeah,
and Troy looks up and his eyes just widen because I don't think he was expecting to see a movie with like language in it. And I'm like, yeah, you don't say it. And he's like, I won't say that. And it's so funny.
Yeah, you could say it.
Yeah,
but it was just kind of funny how it happened.
Yeah,
but, Richard Donner,
written by Terry Black, who wrote Dead Heat.
An interesting episode.
This one right here, yes, is a very
original episode.
It is. It's original and it's, you know, it's kind of cool.
You know me, I love my Carney movies, so.
Yeah, this episode was one of my favorites for a long time. It might be the first episode I ever seen, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Really?
Yep.
Fuck, I couldn't even tell you the first episode I seen in Tales from the Crypt. Don't have a clue. But yeah, the premise of this episode right here, it's basically about a doctor, fucking crazy doctor that picks up this bum off the street and decides that he is, going to do some tests on him. He gives him he basically implants him with cat cells or something like that. He's doing some type of
It doesn't really get technical. It's like cats have 9 lives, right? That's the myth. I'm going to take those 9 lives, the soul of the cat, the essence of what makes those 9 lives, and implants it into the bum. And that's what's the beauty about these shorts, these Tales from the Crypt episodes, is they're often mysterious, and you just suspend your disbelief. You don't need to know how or what the reason is.
Yeah.
You don't need the explanation, man. But I like that though. So, you know, he has this idea, or he's told that he has 9 lives now. And by proving it, the doctor shoots him and he comes back to life. And so he becomes a magician who exploits his gift by doing these shows where he dies in these live shows, and then he comes back to life and he continues on, and people pay big bucks to see him, and he becomes a millionaire and becomes famous and stuff.
And eventually they pay big bucks to kill him.
Essentially.
Yeah, but like it just shows money goes to your head. I think that's like a message that I'm coming across.
Well, he gets greedy, right? Because if it was just him, where he did this thing where the doctor did that to him and then he just killed himself a bunch and made money, then there's no justifiable reason for him to get his just desserts. So he has to then, kill the people around him and get more greedy and take their share too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really like how this episode ends up. I think it's so
love
fitting.
The ending because what is happening is he's telling the story, and we see him in a dark,
very
place,
similar
and
to
we just
part
see his
one
face.
a little bit.
Yeah, we just see his face
episode.
talking to the camera, and he's like, and then this happened, and then at the end it's revealed where he is and what he's doing, and what then happens to him. And honestly, I think it's one of the better endings in a lot of these Tales from the Crypt episodes. Like, I love the ending to this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really an original story.
Yeah, oddly enough, man, this one it's hovering around my favorite episode with the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
I think it's because this one, you're watching it and then, I guess the twist happens, and it's just it's obvious, but I mean, the first time you watch this, do you get it? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Do you think of it? Do you call it when you're first watching this? Probably not.
Well, I would assume so. Something's going to happen, like what happened.
But I mean, it is Tales from the Crypt, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so fitting and it feels so right, and it's just awesome. It's a great way to end the episode.
And I love the carnival setting. It's awesome, like Jeremy said.
Love my Carney films.
And the ringmaster, whatever you want to call him, the MC.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's funny as shit.
But everybody in Tales from Crypt episodes are funny as shit.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this show. They have such quirky characters.
Mm-hmm. And even the lead actor who's playing the guy, like, he just has this, like, slimy, like, personality and voice that is just perfect.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Honestly, in an episode like this that's so short, you're looking forward to the next death.
Yeah.
I don't know if, me personally, man, I'm just like, how is he going to die now?
Like him in that tank. It's fucking like,
man, there's lots of good ones, man.
Yeah.
But
it's funny when they're doing the shooting with the crossbow, and the dude's like, I'm gonna have my son do this, and he's like coming up and he's like, what do we got here, 1,000? And like, just that line of dialogue always makes me bust out laughing, because it's just like, it's like as if he would go up to like any other place and be like, what do we got here, $1 for my boy, but he's like, what do we got, 1,000? It's just like, what?
Yeah.
What do we got here, 1,000? And he pays the dude. I don't know how he pulls out $1,000 or whatever, but
this episode kind of comes off like super comical.
Oh, it is.
At times too. It's just like, it's so ridiculous. Obviously, the whole premise is like stupid, right? But it comes off a little comical. But I think it works. Again, coming back to like the the comedy and horror, films and stuff. I think this one really did work. I think it's good because I mean, really, I think it's the whole fact of having 9 lives and dying that many times. It's ridiculous. It's never going to happen, but I just find it interesting.
Yeah, I love that episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I think the comedy just works. This episode right here has like some of the funniest transitions too, like from scene to scene, like some of the cheesiest transition effects and stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out, because I thought that while watching it, and I totally forgot about it.
But it kind of adds to the whole feel of the episode. It kind of fits in. It's kind of funny how it works. You notice it as being like cheesy and bad, but it kind of fits in and works. I don't know. I really enjoy this episode. It's actually, like I said, it's pretty much one of my favorite ones on the.
It is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I think this one might be my favorite too, actually. But.
All right. Next up.
Yeah. Episode 4, which is called Only Sin Deep, directed by Howard Deutsch.
Has he done anything?
Howard Deutsch. I don't know. Has he done anything?
A lot of TV.
Oh, this is the TV guy?
Yeah, he just did a lot of TV. He directed Pretty in Pink. And then a lot of TV.
That's where the name comes from.
He's directing American Horror Story, though.
Yeah, we talked about this. And he's married to Leah Thompson. Which is funny that she's in this episode. He's married to
Leah Thompson?
Yeah.
Was he married to her when they did this episode?
Yeah. They just got married.
Interesting.
That makes sense. That's very cool. I did not know that. Very interesting.
Description.
Okay, starring Leah Thompson. Pretty cool. This would have been the year that she did Back to the Future 2, which is relevant.
She's not as hot as she is in Jaws 3, but she's all right.
Looks pretty damn good in this one.
Yeah.
Someone want to give the synopsis of this one?
Yeah, a hooker wants to live the luxurious lifestyle, but she's a hooker. So she shoots a man, steals his jewelry, goes to pawn it, but the pawn shop broker is like, this is hot. This is red hot.
He's like, hell no, bitch.
But if you let me mold your face and take your beauty, I will give you all the money you need. She does. She ends up getting the guy of her dreams, and she has 90 days to reclaim her beauty, or 6 months actually. But she doesn't.
No. 4 months.
4 months. But she doesn't reclaim her beauty, and bad things start happening to her.
Yeah, the bad things is she starts aging like
Warlock. Fast.
And of course, that's not good for her image because she's married to like you said, a rich playboy, and he's got standards. And if she can't live up to the standards, well, then she's got to do something fucking drastic, you know. And yeah, I like this episode, man.
I've always liked this episode.
It's fun.
I think it's, you know,
she's self-obsessed. She's narcissistic.
That's the thing, man. And I think an episode like this, I think people can just, you know, they just recognize it and they can relate to it. Maybe not so much relate to it, but they know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it's your classic tale of beauty is only skin deep.
Exactly. Man, I love when she starts aging. Fuck, dude. I love this scene where she's in the pawn shop, like she's pretty much far gone now. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the cop, and it was like the day, or it was right after she did something to the Playboy. And anyways, the pawn shop owner kind of dismissed her, and she's running out of the place, and the cop was just like, I think he said something about how nasty she looks, and just fucking cracked me up. I was like, fucking old hag. So I was like,
but the makeup is fucking really good because she really does.
Yeah, dude.
Like
she does look super gross, and that part I always remember that part every time I watch this. I'm just like, you kind of feel bad for her. It's like, oh, that sucks. But then again, she kind of made her own destiny there.
Yeah, you know,
by being a fucking gold digger, man. She's just a fucking leech. She's just a gold digging, you know.
Yeah.
Horror.
But they get there's a whole bunch of episodes in this series that
comes around.
A whole bunch of episodes in this series that revolves around fucking
gold
beauty.
Digging.
Not that, but beauty and, you know.
Yeah.
Like the episode with the guy who changes his body to look young. You know, there's a whole bunch of episodes as time goes on that addresses this issue of beauty. This episode is it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but go ahead. Sorry.
One thing I love about this episode, though, it feels so fucking 80s and awesome, man. The music is awesome.
Dude, that's some of my favorite kind of music. I just love that feel, man. I don't know. It takes me back. To me, it's like so early glamorous. 90s. I remember hearing that type of shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, it fits so well in this episode because it's like kind of glamour music, and that's what it's about. It's about, you know, glamour and, you know, the effects of
beauty. Gets
you know, like, yeah, what can happen, you know, and I don't know, it fits really well. It was just perfectly executed with it. So
how about that accent
on Leah Thompson?
Yeah,
I know, right?
That is a thick accent. What is that, New Jersey or something?
Fuck, I would assume it's some type of
Jersey.
Yeah, I like it. I think it adds a lot of character to the character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's one of those episodes where I think like the ending is even more sinister than like say like the episode before this one, Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone, because the way that this one ends, like the ending, it's permanent suffer.
Yeah, I think the ending is appropriate. For some reason, I'm not really the biggest fan of the ending in this one. For some reason,
I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I understand it makes sense, but I don't know. I'm not like overly the hugest fan of it. I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense because it's kind of the theme of the whole show, right? It's like these episodes don't really have the happiest of endings.
Mm-hmm.
Generally,
never. Never.
Right? So it definitely does.
Do.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of fits, but
maybe episode 6 a little bit. But.
Some of them do. Some of them have not happy endings, but definitely like ones.
Well, they're not on the.
Like,
they're not on the. Yeah.
Again, though, going back to the thing where I said in the previous episode, this one, the guy is stealing people's beauty to like resurrect his dead wife. And it's just something you don't question. It's just magic. It's voodoo. You don't care. That's the story. And that's something interesting about Tales from the Crypt. I've always found able to just capture this shit that it might not make sense. It might not be logical. It might not be possible, but you just don't care.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It kind of, this show makes you separate yourself from reality, and it kind of just sucks you into these stories that are somewhat realistic, but at the same time they're way out in left
magic.
field.
They're fucking magic.
Exactly, magic.
You just buy it right away, though. Like, you do not have one single like skepticism.
You don't have time to, though.
Yeah, it's interesting too because I think is it episode 3? Or is it one of the episodes is like really short? It's only like 22 minutes. It's kind of funny. There's one really short one. I think it is episode.
Is it the first episode?
No, I think the first one's long. I don't know. One of them is like actually like a norm, like that length of a TV show with commercials. It's like 22 minutes. It's fucking strange.
Yeah.
But I thought that was weird. But yeah, not really a whole lot to say about Only Sin Deep. It's I think Leah Thompson does a great job in the episode. I think that she sells it off well. Jeremy brought up the accent, which was very appropriate.
I think I brought it up.
At JP brought it.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Was it you? Oh, I was trying to give Jeremy some credit here, man. Fuck.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fucking 2:00 in the morning. I got all the credit I need for today.
Yeah, no more credit.
But I don't know. I like the whole mystery of the owner and the molds and the souls, and it's like I don't know, man. I could see this episode. I think it actually would be quite interesting. Is it just me? I mean, like a lot of these episodes would be okay if they were like into full length episodes. But I would, just having some story to this and like, I don't know. Sometimes I just want more. I'm not taking anything away from this episode in particular, but there is sometimes I just want to explore like everything that's in the episodes and stuff and just, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Going back to what you said, and all through the house is 22 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Second episode.
Let's move on.
Episode 5 is titled Lover Come Hack to Me.
I always describe this episode as the episode that everybody forgets from season 1.
I don't really remember it that much.
Directed by Tom Holland.
Of course, from Child's Play? Psycho
2.
Did he do a Psycho? Yeah. I love Tom Holland, man.
He's a cool guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Tom Holland directed the film that, I credit to, my passion for horror films, which is Fright Night.
Psycho 2. He wrote Psycho 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he directed Fright Night, which is the one that I always think of first. Of course, Jeremy doesn't with Child's Play. But yeah, this episode right here, I won't lie, this is definitely my least favorite episode in the first season.
I think it's like the less memorable, like JP said.
Yeah,
no, it just really is. I love the IMDb description. Like the first one says, Peggy wants to make sure her honeymoon turns out perfect. That's it.
Yeah. So you have once again a gold digger, but this time it's a male who marries this offbeat, kind of weirdo, kind of unattractive
played by Amanda
girl.
Plummer. Played by Amanda Plummer. She's the girl in probably most famous for Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
She's the girl in the coffee shop. Yeah.
And he marries her, and they're on their honeymoon, and they stop at this house because their car breaks down or there's a tree in the road or something. It's seemingly abandoned, and he has this whole plot where he's just marrying her for her money. And she kind kind of catching wind to it, but he kind of plays it off a little bit. It's kind of just back and forth thing that they're doing. Honestly, I feel like this one could have benefited from being a little shorter. This one's 29 minutes, and I think that if it was in the 25-minute mark, it could have benefited from that. But honestly, this time watching it, I've always like not really cared for this episode, but this time watching it, I actually liked it. I found that the character, the Amanda Palmer girl, was actually very like sympathetic, like a very sympathetic character. Like I felt bad for her, man. The dude's a dick.
He was a dick.
I don't know if I felt bad for her. I mean, yeah, I guess so, but
she just wanted love, man.
Well, every character in Tales from the Crypt always wanted love, but that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, this one right here, I like the setting. I like the...
Dark and Stormy Night.
Yeah, I mean, those are always fun. It's a great, attempt at atmosphere, and stuff. I find this one just kind of falls flat because I don't really know why. I just feel
that's why I'm not really like saying much about this one. Like I can't really like.
I feel that I honestly feel this one just doesn't have anything going for it. Like I just until it kind of develops a twist or whatever that goes on.
The twist is honestly kind of weak though. Like I don't think it's very impressive.
I think that's actually what it is that you're kind of going, okay, where's this thing going? And then the twist happens and then you're like, okay, that's it. So I don't know, man. I think that's what it is. There's it's just kind of slow and undeveloped. I mean, undeveloped. I guess technically all these are undeveloped, really.
Yeah. Well, but this one is all development, though. It's all development, kind of.
Yeah.
With the relationship, like
but it's really slow, though.
Yeah, I guess it's all development.
That's probably exactly what it is. Thanks for pointing that out. Sometimes you just need a little nudge into the right direction. I think that's exactly what it is. I'm not going to take anything away. I think the filming in this one's actually great. I think Tom Holland did a great job. I just think the story itself is not interesting. Yeah. So that's what I'll say. It's just not interesting.
I think it's like the least original out of the bunch.
I think it doesn't help that it's paired up with all these greats. You know what I mean?
That could be part of it though too, man. Watching these anthology series and you get an episode that's kind of not up to the par of some of the other ones, and you're like, well, that one's not really that great. But then when you think about it, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
But it's not like it's not on the level the other ones are. Yeah, I don't hate this one at all.
I used to like it a lot less. Like, I'm serious. This time watching it, I liked it more than I ever have in my life. And I've seen this whole first season probably 10 or more times.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. And now you just find something different in it than you did the last time.
I honestly, it probably stems from me kind of wanting to not watch this one. Like, get into this one. I was like, you're not looking forward to this one. So you're kind of, you are expecting as least of it as possible, and then it surprises you a little bit.
I really do think that this one is, like you said, it's all development, but I think this one is also the most predictable one, though, too.
It is.
And I think that's another element that's not good for it, too. The one thing it does have going for it is that it's probably the bloodiest episode in the first season, I would say.
Can't really
that I can even think of.
Episode 2 is pretty bloody.
It is, but I think this one kind of outdoes it a little bit with one scene.
I will tell you one thing: that battle axe is cheesy as hell, and it looks stupid and it looks fake.
Well, it looks fake because you have to remember that thing being handled by that come on, you can tell it's not heavy.
Yeah. If that was all steel,
those battle
that
axes
thing would
usually
be
weigh like 50 pounds, man. There's no way you're fucking swinging that thing around. Yeah. So, I don't know. Good setting, a little predictable. Yeah. I don't know.
It's still not a bad episode, though. So.
It really isn't, though. Like, I mean, honestly, I think the only episodes in Tales from the Crypt where I kind of go,
oh, this sucks.
Okay, this isn't the greatest. Is honestly when the show shifts to the UK, and
that's weird. They can't do anything right.
in season 6 and 7, I think, were the 2 seasons where it shifted over there. But
I think it's just 7.
Is it just 7? Okay, so it is, because I was referring to season 7 is where I was going. But in season 7, there's some episodes where I'm just like, maybe there's the comedy barrier here, and my God, I can't fucking talk. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there was some type of resistance there, allowing me to understand what was going on. So I don't know, but yeah, episode 5, Tom Holland's moving on.
Yeah,
episode 6. The final episode in Tales from the Crypt season 1 is
called weirdest.
Yeah, is Collection Updated, directed by Mary Lambert.
Definitely, you could see a lady directing this one.
Of course, is famous for directing Pet Sematary.
And Pet Sematary 2.
And Pet Sematary 2. Yes, she did direct Pet Sematary 2.
And she did anything else? Halloween Town 2.
Urban Legends.
Megapython versus Gatoroid. Classic.
What has her career come to?
Her career, well,
it's interesting, man. She got some like Madonna videos on here and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
Such a strange filmography.
Yeah, definitely. But this one follows Jonas, who is forced into mandatory retirement, where he finally realizes that something's wrong with his wife because he finally has the time to pay attention to her. Yeah. She loves animals a lot.
No, she loves animals weirdly a lot.
Yeah. She's crazy.
Yeah.
So this one I always found to feel like a sitcom, and it's probably because it's on a soundstage.
Wow, I never looked at it like that.
I've always felt like this one felt like a sitcom to me.
I can see that though.
Yeah, I never even
how the neighbor comes over and is like, "What you doing, Jonas?" He's like, "I'm trimming these damn trees," you know. You just feel for this guy. He feels like he worked his entire life, right?
He just feels like such a grumpy old man to me. It's but he has all the right in the world to be grumpy.
Yeah,
because he's worked 6 days a week.
It's like when you have an old Grandpa Edward who's racist as hell, but you're like, this Grandpa Edward, he kind of came from a different time. He's allowed to be like that.
The fucking dog comes through the fucking door and she pays more attention to the dog than the fucking Jonas. It's just
he
just looks so frustrated. This guy's performance is great, dude.
But but those scenes are perfect for the episode because he's worked 6 days a week for 47 years, and to provide his wife with everything that she's wanted and stuff, he's never taken a day off, and then she takes it all for granted.
Yeah,
and she spends all of her time and effort and love and gives it to these animals and stuff. And
but
who the fuck wouldn't act like this? I would take up taxidermy too, man.
But it's also partly due to him not paying attention to her. She goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He spends all of his time working, and that's why it's not like she just started doing this all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's he didn't notice. He didn't notice that she was crazy. And there's even a scene where he's kind of talking to his neighbor, and the neighbor's like, "Yeah, she's been like that for a while, dude." And he's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I love this guy's. I think it's pure gold. This guy's performance is so goddamn funny to me. I love it. You know what this episode reminds me of? John Landis's Masters of Horror episode, Family.
I thought you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard about it, it seems pretty similar.
What about you, Moodz?
Which episode?
Family. John Landis's episode of Masters of Horror season 2.
Yeah, I can see the relation to it. Yeah, with George Wendt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That episode is so good, though.
I find this one to be the oddball ending.
Oh, dude, the ending is fucking hilarious in this episode, man. Honestly, this one has the funniest ending in the first season. It's funny.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is, but it makes
is it
sense,
just me
though.
that finds it so funny? Because I literally have in my notes, haha, that end. That's
when they get that fucking dog. When you see the stuffed dog, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's oh boy.
I don't know, man. I just find it fucking funny. I don't find it, brutal or malicious or anything.
This is a comedy for sure.
This whole episode
totally. I just find it funny. I mean, I don't know. It's comical. But I think the leads in this episode, I think they both do a great job. You know, the husband and the wife. I think they both do an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be one of the most excellent, offbeat episodes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Definitely is the oddball out of the first season.
I'm saying like in general, and like the first few seasons, it's like one of the ones that stands out for being strange.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, Elisa has good acting and kind of so. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think it's like a great ending to the season because although it's not like a powerful like awesome, super awesome episode in terms of just like badass, it's a fun way to end the season.
Yeah,
I agree. So, how do we want to do this?
Ranking.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Least favorite is Lover Come Hack to Me. I'm going to go backwards because I'm cool like that, like we did Children of the Corn. Mm-hmm. Number 5 would be Only Sin Deep. Mm-hmm. Number 3... Ooh, this is hard now.
Number 4.
Number 4 would be Collection Completed.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, The Man Who Was Death. Number 2, And All Through the House. And number 1, Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone.
Interesting. Mine's a little varied, but pretty similar. Number 6 is Lover Come Hack to Me. Number 5 is Only Sin Deep. Number 4 is Collection Complete. Number 3 is And All Through the House. Number 2 was The Man Who Was Death. And number 1 is Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone.
Close.
Yeah, my least favorite was episode 5, Lover Come Hack to Me. Then followed by episode 6,
Collection Complete.
Collection, isn't it Collection Updated?
Collection Completed.
So do you think this is a fucking DVD update or something?
Whatever. Shit.
It's only fucking 12:15 by you, Mood, so don't stop your bitching.
Yeah.
Fucking Canadian.
Then after that would be probably what do I have? Episode 5, episode 6. Episode 5, episode 6.
This is like a Jeremy crash and burn.
No, I fucking don't have it written down. I'm just like trying to scroll through the fucking, you know,
You only got 4 more choices, come on.
Yeah, and then I'm go with episode, I think it's episode 4? Episode 4?
Only Sin Deep.
Only Sin Deep? Only Sin Deep.
Yeah, 3 more episodes.
In JP.
Yeah, and then I go with episode 1.
The Man Who Was Death.
Man Who Was Death. Then episode 2. All Through the House. And then episode
3.
Episode 3.
Dig That Cat.
Yeah. So
that was the same rankings as Jeremy.
That was really hard. Really? Okay. No. So that was really hard to do because I was like scrolling back and forth doing this. I wish I'd have wrote
it. His bottom ones were flipped. Yeah.
So that is going to do it for episode 59.
The season.
What's that?
I thought we was rating the season.
Oh shit! We want to rate the fucking season. Yeah, it's so fucking hard to do, man.
First, Moodz.
Holy shit, if I had to average these out, man, of what I had them individually rated at, I am probably going to give this whole season a 8 out of 10.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'll come with the same thing, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, me too, 8 out of 10.
Holy shit. Look at that. Those ratings took forever and we're all like, 8 out of 10s. I don't know. I mean, I had these all. Did you guys individually rate these at all?
No, I was doing it as you was talking just to see what my actual average would be, but
I actually had mine individually rated, so it's like whatever. But yeah, 8 out of 10s all around. That's very interesting. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very appropriate, actually. So very good first season. I think it'd be very cool to, continue this on and do season 2.
Well, that's 16 episodes.
Yeah, it's fine. We'd be fine.
16 episodes is only like watching a couple films.
It's 18 episodes.
We'd be fine.
For one episode?
Yeah, we'd be fine, dude.
We just have to rip through them, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for episode 59 here on the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the show. That was very, very fun. And it's glad to have Jeremy back in the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Next episode will be...
I'm not that bad, actually.
He's like, I'm fucking so tired.
No, I actually did alright. I did alright.
Yeah. Yeah. So next episode, what are we doing next episode, guys? For the people that are still with us, we will announce it to you guys.
Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons
franchise.
Yeah. So that is, there's 4, I was going to say episodes, 4 films in the franchise. That is, of course, including the remake.
Oh boy.
Yes, the remake. Which I have not seen since I watched it when it came out, and I did not like it. So
yeah, but we also said that with Children of the Corn, both of us.
But that's the beauty of watching things years later after you've been, grading films and watching them differently and stuff. You soak in a little whatever. I'm just blabbering on, but you know what? You know how it goes.
Yeah, Angela's having a party. Jason and Freddie are too scared to come, but you'll have a hell of a time. Check out that tagline.
Yeah, I know it's got Edward Furlong in it, and I was going to say Molly Shannon, for fuck's sakes. Shannon Elizabeth is in that film too. But yeah, that's going to do it for the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. So, Jeremy, take us out.
Oh yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 59 of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast. If you want to follow the man Moodz himself, you can do so at youtube.com/Moodz616. Or if you're watching this on his YouTube, please collect the subscribe button down below and add to his thumbs down collection. If you want to follow JP over on his channel, you can do so youtube.com/doubleshotj. And of course, he is still a fucking asshole who does not love Pee Wee Herman. And as always, you can follow me on my channel, youtube.com/NESRuler22, because I am awesome. And you could leave us a voicemail if you want at 724-426-6665. And you can send us an email at 22shotsofmoodsandhorror@gmail.com. It's 22shotsofmoodsandhorror@gmail.com. It's ANDhorror@gmail.com.
We're tired, guys. We're tired.
Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/22shotspodcast, or just go to the search bar at 22 Shots Podcast. You can follow us on the Facebook page, facebook.com search bar, 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror, and I think that shall do it. Oh yeah, you could always follow us on our website, 22shotsofmoodsandhorror.com. It's 22shotsofmoodsandhorror.com. And as always, we should talk to you guys next week with episode number 60. Number 60 already of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast. Who the fuck would have thought we'd still be going? Should talk to you guys next week. See you guys.
Peace.